Chapter 1878. If she was really young Master Huang's concubine, it would be fine if she behaved herself. After all, there were many concubines in the residence. However, ever since Zhao Xinhui entered the residence, she had been spoiled and arrogant, going against her every day. As the mistress of the household, she was often angered by Zhao Xinhui. How could she tolerate Zhao Xinhui continuing to cause trouble? Driving Zhao Xinhui back to her hometown was the first step of her plan. Then she schemed against Zhao Xinhui and framed Zhao Xinhui for having an affair with another man, making young Master Huang a cuckold. The child in Zhao Xinhui's belly was the result of the adulterer's affair. In the face of evidence, young Master Huang naturally believed in it. As a man, what he couldn't stand the most was his woman making him a cuckold. In the future, he wouldn't be able to raise his head in front of his friends. If this kind of thing were to spread, he would lose even more face. Therefore, when Zhao Xinhui came to find him, not only did young Master Huang not allow her to return to the Huang residence, he even had someone beat Zhao Xinhui up. No matter how Zhao Xinhui tried to explain, young Master Huang wouldn't listen. After being taught a lesson, Zhao Xinhui was chased out of the Huang residence. The moment Zhao Xinhui was chased out, she saw the smile of young Master Huang's wife. Unfortunately, she couldn't talk to young Master Huang anymore. When a man doted on you, he could be very doting. He would pour out his heart and lungs for you, and would place all the good things in front of you. However, when a man was heartless, it was even scarier. No matter how much you cried, his heart would never soften. After lying in front of the Huang residence for a while, Zhao Xinhui was finally able to get up again. She walked with pain all over her body. Her heart was filled with despair. Looking at the current situation, she wouldn't be able to return to the Huang residence, nor would she be able to enjoy the life there. Now that she was told that she would have to live a hard life in the countryside for the rest of her life, Zhao Xinhui couldn't bear it. It was said that it was easy to go from frugality to extravagance, but difficult to go from extravagance to frugality. Wasn't she in such a situation now? After walking for a while, Zhao Xinhui really couldn't take it anymore. She sat on the ground and cried. His body was already stained with blood. Now that he was sitting on the ground, he looked even dirtier. Zhao Xinhui cried as he wiped his tears. The surrounding people came forward to watch, wondering what had happened. After failing to see Zhao Xinhui, she pointed at Zhao Xinhui and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, isn't that your aunt?" Zhao Yuner took a closer look. It really was her aunt. However, why was Zhao Xinhui in Yang City? Why was he sitting on the ground? Mulan asked in confusion. "Yuner, what's wrong with your aunt? Did someone bully you?" Zhao Yuner frowned. "I don't know." Thinking that she was Zhao Yuner's relative and her aunt, Mulan said worriedly, "Yuner, why don't we go and take a look? Your aunt seems to be injured. She's crying so hard. She's quite pitiful." Zhao Yuner thought for a moment and nodded. However, before the two of them got out of the car, a kind-hearted person came forward and asked Zhao Xinhui, "Miss, what's wrong with you? Are you all right?" Faced with the concern of others, Zhao Xinhui didn't know what was good for her and replied, "What does it have to do with you?" The surrounding people couldn't stand it anymore. They pointed at Zhao Xinhui and said, "Miss, isn't it wrong of you to be like this? He came forward to ask because he was concerned about you. What kind of attitude is this? How can there be someone like you?" Chapter 1879. Zhao Xinhui's bad attitude aroused the disgust of the onlookers. "This is the first time I've met such a person. Good intentions are really not rewarded. Look at the injuries all over her body. I think she deserved it. Someone probably couldn't stand her behavior and gave her a good beating. I think so too. She deserves to be beaten up. It's not too much to beat her to death. Don't go up and pity her just because she's a girl. Some people are just cheap and don't deserve to be pitied." Zhao Xinhui was angered by the discussion around her. She shouted at the top of her voice, "Who are you talking about? Who deserves it? All of you have cheap mouths. Did you not brush your teeth today? Or did you just eat **tea? Why is it so smelly? Look at this, look at this. How can a girl behave like this? I've never seen such a woman before. Today is the first time I've seen such a woman. It's an eye-opener." This kind of cheap woman needs to be taught a lesson before she'll be honest. She actually said that our mouths are smelly and that we ate sh*t. Yes. Teach her a lesson. Let's see if she can still be stubborn. Thus the onlookers were too angry. They all went up to Zhao Xinhui and prepared to beat her up. Zhao Xinhui shouted at the top of her voice. What are you doing? What are you doing? You still want to beat me up? Beating a weak woman like me in broad daylight. Aren't you afraid that I'll report you to the yamen and arrest you? The onlookers were not to be trifled with. When they heard Zhao Xinhui's words, they became even angrier and scolded Zhao Xinhui. So what if we beat you up? We beat you up. We're getting rid of evil for the people. We're not afraid even if the yamen is reported. Yes, if they want to arrest us, they should arrest us one by one. I don't believe that the county magistrate will punish us and not you, you cheap woman. Women with cheap mouths need to be taught a lesson. We're right to beat her up, not wrong. Why don't we dare to beat her up? After the onlookers shouted a few words, they all showed their fists. Zhao Xinhui stared at these people with some fear. They were actually so bold to beat her up. Ah, don't hit me, don't hit me. Zhao Xinhui screamed. However, how could they let Zhao Xinhui off the hook so easily after enraging the crowd? They threw punches and kicks at Zhao Xinhui. They didn't care whether men hit women or not. They just wanted to hit the B*tch Zhao Xinhui. Of course, the woman couldn't stand Zhao Xinhui at all. Just because she was a little beautiful, she acted all high and mighty. She even spoke so harshly. Who did she think she was? Those who had rotten vegetables in their hands threw them at Zhao Xinhui. For a moment, Zhao Xinhui was beaten up very miserably. Zhao Yun'er and Mulan watched from the side, and were shocked by the scene in front of them. Although they felt that Zhao Xinhui was beaten up very miserably, it was true that Zhao Xinhui was in the wrong first. Her words weren't human, so it was normal for her to anger people. Mulan frowned and looked at Zhao Yun'er. She asked Zhao Yun'er, Yun'er, should we go and save your aunt? What if he really dies if he keeps fighting like this? Zhao Yun'er said indifferently, Sister-in-law Mulan will inevitably be implicated if we show up now. If we anger the crowd, we'll probably be beaten up together. Mulan's heart trembled when she heard Zhao Yun'er's words. After thinking about it, she felt that Zhao Yun'er's words weren't without reason. Chapter 1880. Zhao Xinhui's pitiful cries spread far and wide. However, even under such circumstances, no one stepped forward to protect Zhao Xinhui. Instead, many people came to join in the fun and shouted with the crowd, Beat this B*tch to death! Beat this B*tch to death! When Zhao Yun'er saw this scene, she couldn't help but shake her head. She suddenly thought of a saying, If you don't seek death, you won't die. Zhao Xinhui was in this state because she had done too much. This was outside, not old Zhao's house. Old Zhao had Hu Chunhua to protect and dote on him at home, but he didn't have that outside. She had to bear the consequences of offending people with her rude words. Suddenly, someone rushed over and pushed the crowd aside. He shouted at the crowd, What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't you feel embarrassed to bully a girl with so many people? The person who had come was none other than Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan had been about to go back after selling the pig offal when he suddenly heard Zhao Xinhui's cries and came over. He didn't expect to see Zhao Xinhui being bullied. When he saw the wounds on Zhao Xinhui's body, which were still stained with blood, Qin Yuan's heart ached terribly. These people were too much. How could they injure her to this extent? Qin Yuan's eyes turned red and he had the urge to kill someone. He hurriedly pulled Zhao Xinhui into his arms and protected her tightly. This way, even if the other people's fists and feet came over, they would hit him instead of Zhao Xinhui. The onlookers said indignantly, What's wrong with hitting her? She deserves to be taught a lesson. I've never seen a woman with such a cheap mouth. We're getting rid of an evil for the people. Everyone, do you think I deserve to be hit? A group of people behind him echoed, She deserves to be hit. That B*tch deserves to be hit to death. Did you hear that? Everyone says she deserves to be hit. Then it's her problem alone. Qin Yuan could not vent his anger. Weren't these people a little too much? They had already beaten her to this extent, yet they still said such things. You're not allowed to fight anymore. If anyone dares to fight again, I'll chop them up with a knife. Qin Yuan's harsh words shocked the onlookers. It was said that the upright feared the unreasonable, and the unreasonable feared those who didn't care about their lives. Now that Qin Yuan was in such a desperate situation, none of them dared to continue provoking them. He thought that Zhao Xinhui had already beaten him enough. If he continued to beat him, he might even kill him. If the government investigated, it would definitely be troublesome. Why don't we just let it go now? It's fine as long as we're out. There's no need to continue harping on it. Thus, the crowd dispersed in an uproar. Let's go, let's go. We've seen enough of the show and taken care of that B*TCH. Yeah, let's go. There's nothing to see here. Although Qin Yuan still wanted to pursue the matter, there was nothing they could do. They could only let these people go. At this moment, he was most worried about Zhao Xinhui in his arms. His nose was filled with the smell of Zhao Xinhui's blood. Qin Yuan's expression suddenly became extremely serious. Auntie, are you okay? How are you now? Qin Yuan asked the person in his arms gently. Zhao Xinhui was already feeling aggrieved. Now she hugged Qin Yuan and cried. Whoa, it hurts so much. I thought I was going to be beaten to death by these people. They're too much. There were so many of them, but they only bullied me. Zhao Xinhui poured out her grievances. Chapter 1881. Qin Yuan couldn't help but tremble when Zhao Xinhui hugged him tightly. In the past, he really wanted to be intimate with Zhao Xinhui, but he never had the chance. All this time, he could only silently fantasize about hugging Zhao Xinhui like this. He didn't expect that it would really come true today. Zhao Xinhui hugged him tightly. Her face was still pressed against his chest. Qin Yuan felt his heart pounding, much faster than usual. His throat suddenly dried up. Qin Yuan said in a hoarse voice, Okay, Auntie, don't be afraid. With me around, no one can bully you. I'll protect you well. At this moment, Qin Yuan's male chauvinism exploded. He wanted to protect the woman in his arms and not let anyone bully her. This was a feeling that she had never felt before. Zhao Xinhui continued to whimper. She didn't want to let go of Qin Yuan's hand. Qin Yuan, thank you for coming to save me. Auntie, it's my duty. Don't stand on ceremony with me. I'm more than happy to do this kind of thing. Qin Yuan replied nervously. He felt very happy. Although he was heartbroken that Zhao Xinhui had been beaten up, if no one had beaten Zhao Xinhui up, he wouldn't have had the chance to be a hero and save the damsel in distress. He also wouldn't have been able to hug Zhao Xinhui like this. To him, this was a chance to get closer to Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui responded. She didn't know if it was because of the trauma she had suffered, but after Qin Yuan saved her, she felt that she had developed some dependence on Qin Yuan. Actually, she had always thought that Qin Yuan was a good person. It was just that he was too poor, so she didn't take a liking to him back then. Now that young Master Huang didn't want her anymore, it wouldn't be easy for her to find a good man. However, she couldn't spend the rest of her life alone either. After being separated from young Master Huang for a while, she still wanted to do that thing in bed. With every man by her side, wouldn't her future happiness be ruined? Therefore, she had to find another man to marry. Since she couldn't find someone with better conditions, she might as well find someone who dotes on her. She could tell that Qin Yuan liked her very much and wanted to be with her even more. The Qin Yuan had no money, but she did save some money from young Master Huang. With this money, her life with the Qin Yuan wouldn't be too bad. The two of them could open a shop and start a small business. They wouldn't have to live in poverty for the rest of their lives. After thinking about this, Zhao Xinhui decided to be together with Qin Yuan. Therefore, she asked in a gentle voice, Qin Yuan, you said that you would take care of me for the rest of your life. Is that true? Qin Yuan choked with sobs and was completely dumbfounded. What did little aunt mean by that? Did she really intend to be with him? He couldn't be so lucky, right? Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't say anything, Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips and said, So you were just saying it casually. It seems that I was thinking too much. Qin Yuan came back to his senses and hurriedly said, No, little aunt, that's not what I meant. I was too happy just now, so I didn't reply to your question. Then tell me now, is what you said true or false? Of course it's true. Little ant, the heavens and earth can bear witness to my sincerity towards you. You mustn't doubt me. Of course I don't doubt you, but you have to remember what you said today. Chapter 1882. He wondered if he was dreaming at this moment. The things that he had always hoped for had never come true. How did it come true today? Only in a dream would this be possible. How can you do this? After Zhao Ping, and Ma Xiaofeng rushed over, they saw the scene of Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui hugging each other. Zhao Ping, stared at them until she almost went crazy with jealousy. Qin Yuan was her husband, her man. How could he hug Zhao Xinhui like this? Qin Yuan and Zhao Xinhui both ignored Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping, could not take it anymore and continued to clamor. Zhao Xinhui, you be *tch. How can you seduce my husband? Big brother Yuan is mine. Hurry and let go of him. Zhao Ping, was about to rush over and push Zhao Xinhui away from Qin Yuan's embrace. However, before Zhao Ping, could get close to Zhao Xinhui, she was stopped by Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan reprimanded Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping, what are you doing? You be *tch. Aren't you a little too vicious? You actually want to hurt your aunt. Zhao Ping, was frightened by Qin Yuan's murderous gaze. Her original actions also stopped instantly. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan pitifully and said, Big brother Yuan, how can you do this to me? You actually yelled at me for little aunt. You even hugged little aunt like this. You've never treated me like this before. The more Zhao Ping spoke, the more her heart ached. Tears streamed down her face. Qin Yuan said with a cold face, You jealous be *tch. Can't you see that your aunt isn't injured? How can you be so calculative with your aunt? After Qin Yuan said that, Zhao Ping, then saw the injuries on Zhao Xinhui's body. It was probably quite serious. Zhao Xinhui's clothes were stained with blood, and her arms were bruised. However, Zhao Ping, did not feel sorry for Zhao Xinhui at all. Instead, she was gloating in her heart. Even if her aunt, this be *tch, was beaten to death, it would not be too much. Zhao Xinhui glanced at Zhao Ping indifferently. Her lips curled into a cold smile. Then her slender hands to Qin Yuan's neck. Qin Yuan hurriedly comforted her. Auntie, bear with it. I'll take you to the doctor, and let the doctor treat your wounds. You'll be fine. Zhao Xinhui replied weakly. Okay. Her voice made the man's heart ache even more. He wanted to protect her. Qin Yuan carried Zhao Xinhui in a princess carry. Zhao Ping followed Qin Yuan angrily. Her face was full of undisguised jealousy. However, after being reprimanded by Qin Yuan, she did not dare to make a fuss again. Zhao Yin'er was stunned by the scene in front of her. Now, it seemed that her aunt was going to get involved with Qin Yuan. Thinking about it, that be *tch Zhao Ping was pitiful. Although she had finally gotten married, she did not marry a man who liked her, who knew if there would be more trouble in the future. Of course, all of this had nothing to do with her. She did not care whether Zhao Ping was dead or alive. In her heart, Zhao Ping was not a member of her family. After the few people left, Mulan opened her mouth. Yin'er, what's going on? It's what you saw. Zhao Yin'er replied with a smile. Chapter 1883. In ancient times, some concepts were still more traditional. For example, Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan were one generation apart, so it was naturally impossible for them to be together. If they were really together, people would inevitably say that they were incestuous. At that time, who knew what kind of gossip would come out? Zhao Yin'er shrugged and replied helplessly, I don't know about that. This is their business, so I can't ask. Mulan sighed and nodded in agreement. Zhao Yin'er was right. How could Zhao Yun meddle in the affairs between her brother-in-law and sister-in-law? There were weirdos every year, but this year's weirdo happened to be Zhao Yin'er's relative. After the two of them finished watching the show, they didn't stay any longer and drove Xiao Mao to Shuilan village. Xiao Mao, who only came out for a walk once in a long time, was unusually cheerful this time, as if it wanted to fly. Even Zhao Yin'er couldn't stop it. Along the way, Zhao Yin'er and Mulan's butts hurt from the bumpy ride, but they couldn't do anything about it. Zhao Yun wondered if she should add a soft cushion to the donkey cart when they returned. This way, no matter how hard Xiao Mao ran, it wouldn't be too bumpy when they sat on the donkey cart. After finally returning to Shuilan village, Zhao Yun'er and Mulan hurriedly got off the cart and rubbed their butts as they walked. Zhao Yun'er and Mulan prepared to walk the rest of the way slowly. The mountain road to her house and Mulan's house wasn't very smooth. If Xiao Mao pulled two people, it would probably be very difficult. The two of them simply got off the cart and walked on their own. If Xiao Mao couldn't pull them, they could give it a push from behind. Not long after, they bumped into Madame Qi, who was returning from chopping wood on the mountain. She didn't know if it was because she had been working hard these days, but Madame Qi's skin was yellow and she had lost a lot of weight. When Madame Qi saw Mulan's complexion, she realized that Mulan had become rounder and looked much better than before. She felt a little uncomfortable in her heart. Madame Qi caught a glimpse of the bamboo leaves and glutinous rice on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart and said in a jealous tone, "Oh, second sister-in-law, are you preparing to make dumplings?" "Well, it's just for the Dragon Boat Festival. Didn't our family often eat it before? I used to eat white rice dumplings the most. Look at these things you bought. They're quite sumptuous. Sigh, unlike us this year, I'm afraid we won't even be able to eat rice dumplings." Mulan was momentarily at a loss for words. She didn't know how to respond to the Qi family. What's wrong with making slightly better dumplings? Wasn't it just adding more dates? In the past, his family was poor and could not afford to eat. At most, he could only eat white rice dumplings. But which child didn't want to eat sweet date rice dumplings? Now that he had some money and could afford it, he naturally had to satisfy the children. After all, they didn't eat it often, so it wasn't a waste. Following Zhao Yun'er, Mulan had learned many things, and one of them was to live an exquisite life. Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but roll her eyes at Madame Qi. "Yes, it's because you eat well. Who asked you to be poor? Serves you right for not being able to afford it." Madame Qi's face instantly turned red and she glared at Zhao Yun'er angrily. "What are you saying? Are you deaf or did you not hear me? What's the use of being jealous of others? If you want to eat well, then work hard to earn money to buy it," Zhao Yun'er said lightly and continued to ridicule. Chapter 1884. Madame Qi gritted her teeth and secretly scolded Zhao Yun'er for being a slut. Zhao Yun'er restrained the smile on her lips. It felt good to scold a slut. Seeing Madame Qi angry but unable to say anything, it really made people want to laugh. Madame Qi put away the displeasure on her face. Although she felt uncomfortable, she still swallowed her anger. Mulan smiled and said, "Sister-in-law, Yun'er is right. As long as you work hard and earn money, you can buy whatever you want to eat." Madame Qi pursed her lips and said with a bitter face, "Hee, I think it's better to forget it. I don't have such a good life. How can it be so easy to earn money, unlike second sister-in-law who follows behind Zhao Yun'er?" "You're wrong. Sister-in-law Mulan can earn money by following me. Didn't I find ways to earn it myself? But what you said seems to be right. Not everyone's hard work will be rewarded. Some people are just stupid and can't think of ways to earn money. What's the use of hard work?" Madame Qi frowned and digested Zhao Yun'er's words. After a while she reacted. This slut was actually calling her stupid. "Zhao Yun'er, who are you scolding? Did I mention names and scold anyone? Family Zhu sister-in-law, why are you so agitated? Don't tell me you admit that you're stupid?" Zhao Yun'er asked with a faint smile. Madame Qi felt that she had been tricked by Zhao Yun'er. Sure enough, she couldn't win against Zhao Yun'er. This woman was too scheming. If she wasn't careful, it was easy to be tricked. "Sister-in-law, if there's nothing else, we'll leave first." Mulan didn't want to continue arguing with Madame Qi and cause any unpleasant things. She was very clear about her sister-in-law's temperament. She liked to haggle over every little thing and liked to cause trouble. Qi sure was not reconciled and continued to say to Mulan, "Second sister-in-law, I don't have a purse for white rice dumplings at home this year. You should send some dumplings to our mother later, right? An old man like him should at least eat a little. Otherwise, you're being unfilial. Even if we split up, mother still gave birth to second brother and raised him. You can't forget that." Madame Qi's words sounded reasonable. In ancient times, filial piety was the most important thing. If one ignored both the son and the mother, one would be criticized. Although Mrs. Zhu's previous behavior was a bit excessive, she was still Zhu Er's mother. Unless she did something extremely excessive and caused everyone's dissatisfaction, there would be some gossip. Mulan thought for a moment and replied, "Got it." Only then did Madame Qi leave with satisfaction. She thought that she could eat some of the zongzi that Mulan sent to Mrs. Zhu later. At the thought of the sweet taste of the sweet date zongzi, Madame Qi couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She couldn't wait for Mulan to immediately wrap them up and send them to her. However, Mulan also had a little idea. She could send them, but no one could dictate what kind of zongzi she should send or how many zongzi she should send. As long as she sent some zongzi over, she could shut people up. Later, she would directly send 5 white rice dumplings. Including Madame Qi's children, it was estimated that Madame Qi wouldn't be able to eat them. With Mrs. Zhu's temperament, at most, she would give one to Zhu Dainiu and the rest to herself and Zhu Sanlu. How could Madame Qi get any? Seeing Mulan's straightforward answer, Zhao Yun knew that Mulan must have her own calculations and plans. Now that Mulan was with her, she had more and more ideas. Chapter 1885. Zhao Yun shrugged and replied, "It's fine." Mulan's lips curled into a bitter smile. Although there were still some people who were sick of Family Zhu, their family's life had become better ever since they moved out of Family Zhu's house. Now that there was no Family Zhu's nagging, the house was much quieter. After Zhao Yun and Mulan returned home, they soaked the bamboo leaves and glutinous rice in water. The bamboo leaves had to be washed gently with a brush. As for the glutinous rice, it had to be soaked for a period of time before the zongzi would taste good. Using this time, Zhao Yun also took out some bacon from home and cut it into small pieces. When the time came, she just had to put a piece into each zongzi. This was her favorite, the bacon zongzi. Other than that, she also made some candied dates and mung beans. Because it was almost the Dragon Boat Festival, old Madame Liang was in a good mood. Although her legs were a little inconvenient now, she knew how to do these small chores. Wrapping zongzi was old Madame Liang's specialty. For so many years, every year when the Liang family celebrated the Dragon Boat Festival, they would eat zongzi through old Madame Liang's handbag. After coming to Zhao Yun's house, old Madame Liang's daily life was well taken care of by Zhao Yun's family. There were many chores that old Madame Liang didn't have the chance to do even if she wanted to. Now that she finally had a chance to be useful, old Madame Liang was eager to give it a try. "Eldest girl, I have to make a few zongzi today. Don't stop me. This isn't hard work. I can do tiring work," old Madame Liang said with a straight face. It seemed that if Liang Jinxiao refused, old Madame Liang would get angry with her. Liang Jinxiao smiled helplessly and said, "Okay, mother. Let's make these zongzi as a family." Old Madame Liang nodded in satisfaction. That's more like it." At noon, the whole family had a simple meal. The food was not bad. Zhao Yun made streaky pork. The whole family ate one more bowl of rice than usual. Zhao Tianen didn't know if it was because he was growing, so he liked to eat oil. He directly poured the oil from the bottom of the pork belly bowl into the bowl, mixed it into the rice, and then ate it with relish. Zhao Yun was used to living in the 21st century. She preferred to eat rapeseed oil rather than animal oil. Eating too much animal oil could easily lead to high blood lipids. In the eyes of modern people, it was better to eat less. But for the ancient people, they didn't consume much oil and water on a daily basis, and they did very tiring work every day. If they didn't eat some animal oil, they wouldn't seem very energetic. Zhao Wenhua also liked to eat animal fat, but she gave the fat in the pork belly bowl to Zhao Tianan. After the meal, the glutinous rice was almost done soaking. It was time to prepare the dumplings. At this time, someone came to Zhao Yun's house. "Third sister-in-law, are you at home?" It was Zhao Yun's uncle, Zhao Ping, who was a few generations away. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly responded, "Yes." Liang Jinxiao said and went out of the house. Zhao Yun followed him out. "What's wrong?" Liang Jinxiao asked, thinking that Zhao Ping came to see him for something. Zhao Ping explained, "Third sister-in-law, last time you told me that you wanted to raise a cat. My cat gave birth to a litter of kittens more than half a month ago. Now I caught one for you, Zhao Ping said and handed the kitten in his hand to Liang Jinxiao. Chapter 1886. It looked very small and pitiful. Liang Jinxiao stared at the kitten in Zhao Ping's hand, then took it. Uncle Yuner, isn't your kitten a little too small? Why don't you keep it at home for a while before sending it to me? Liang Jinxiao asked worriedly. Zhao Ping sighed and said, I'm just afraid that I won't be able to keep it alive even if I bring it home. Liang Jinxiao asked in confusion. Why is that? Why can't you keep it alive? Zhao Ping then explained. My cats have a lot of litters. There are 7 or 8 kittens. Unfortunately, there's not enough milk, so each kitten can't eat their fill. The kitten I picked for you is the fattest one. The other kittens are even skinnier. If you feed it some soup from time to time, it'll probably be able to keep it alive. Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Liang Jinxiao finally understood. She muttered, so that's how it is. Then I'll keep it. Staring at the thin and small kitten, Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, it looks really pitiful. It's so cute. It's a pity that it's dead. Although it was just an animal, it was still alive after all. When Zhao Yuner saw the thin and small kitten, she hurriedly went up to Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, let me hold it. Liang Jinxiao nodded and stuffed the kitten into Zhao Yuner's hands. Yuner, slow down. Don't drop it. Zhao Yuner answered solemnly, Mother, I know. Zhao Yuner's hand gently stroked the kitten's head a few times. The kitten burrowed into Zhao Yuner's palm, and a ticklish feeling spread all over its body. However, its soft and smooth body made people want to play with it a few more times. It was so cute. It was just that it was a little small, so he had to be very careful when holding it in his hands, afraid that he would drop it. Uncle Zhao, thank you. Zhao Yuner thanked Zhao Ping while stroking the kitten. Zhao Ping smiled. Why are you being so polite? If your family didn't want them, I would still be worried about how to give these kittens away. He couldn't just throw them away, could he? After all, it's a life. Zhao Yuner agreed with this point. Uncle Zhao, why don't you come to my house and have a rest and drink a glass of water? Zhao Yuner greeted him warmly. Zhao Ping hurriedly waved his hand and refused. No, you still have work to do. Liang Jinxiao said. Other than making some dumplings in the afternoon, we don't have much to do. By the way, Uncle Yin, have you made dumplings at home? Zhao Ping scratched his head and replied shyly, I'm a man. How would I know how to do those things? Liang Jinxiao thought about it and agreed. Zhao Ping hadn't married yet. Without a woman at home, there were many things that he couldn't do. A man couldn't possibly do all the women's work. That's true, Uncle Yin. You've had a hard time living alone all these years. Zhao Ping smiled foolishly again. It's okay. I'll get used to it. Uncle Zhao, it's okay if you don't know how to make dumplings. I'll send some to you later. Have a taste. I have a lot of dumplings at home this time. Zhao Ping was a little embarrassed and hurriedly waved his hand to refuse. No, forget it. It's so embarrassing. It's not easy for you to make dumplings. There are so many people at home. How can you give them to me? Chapter 1887. Zhao Ping was still struggling. Zhao Yuner said, Uncle Zhao, your cat is not free. What's wrong with eating some dumplings? Otherwise, I'll feel bad. After being persuaded by Zhao Yuner and her mother, Zhao Ping smiled embarrassedly and said, Okay, I'll try it then. Okay. After sending the kitten over, Zhao Ping didn't stay any longer. He turned and left Zhao Yuner's yard. After seeing Zhao Ping leave, Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but sigh and say, Yun, or your Uncle Zhao is actually quite a nice person. Zhao Yuner agreed and said, Yes. Compared to old Zhao's uncles, Zhao Ping was definitely very nice. He's such a nice person, but he hasn't married yet. It's not easy for a man to live like this. Not to mention other things, if he marries a woman, she can at least cook for him and wash his clothes. He doesn't need to do these chores. Zhao Yuner thought about it. It was because this era was the same as the 21st century. For people who were too poor, it was very difficult to even get a wife. Sometimes, men were really nice. It was because of these external material conditions that they were bound, so they were always single. Mother, why don't you help to ask around? If there's a suitable person, you can introduce Uncle Zhao to her. Zhao Yun'er winked at Liang Jinxiao and asked. Liang Jinxiao smiled bitterly and said, Hey, it's easier said than done. Which young girl is willing to marry your Uncle Zhao? The age gap is there. Mother, who said that it has to be a young girl? Can't you ask me to look at those divorced women or widows? Isn't that equivalent to a second marriage? In the countryside, it's counted. Who said that a woman can't marry a second time? If she meets the right person, she can marry again. As long as the man is good to her and she has a good life, why think so much? Liang Jinxiao was silent for a while and said, Okay, I'll ask someone later. If they really met someone suitable, it would be best if they could get together and live together. It's not easy for your Uncle Zhao to be alone. Now that he's getting older, it's better to have a companion. Yes. After the mother and daughter finished talking about this matter, they started to care about the kitten. Looking at that skinny kitten, she had to give it more food. Otherwise, it might not be able to grow up. Unfortunately, the half-month-old kitten's teeth probably hadn't grown out yet, so it couldn't eat those hard things. Zhao Yun'er pondered for a moment, then went to the kitchen and made some rice soup. Zhao Yun'er thought that the salty rice soup was too plain, so she added some leftover meat broth from lunch into the rice soup. Then he took a small bowl and brought it to the kitten. The kitten seemed to have smelled something. It dragged its thin body to the front of the bowl and began to drink the rice soup in the bowl. Perhaps it was because it was too hungry. The kitten ate very happily and hurriedly. Seeing this situation, Zhao Yun'er's heart ached even more. Speaking of which, these pets in ancient times were not as good as in the 21st century. Those cats and dogs in the 21st century could be treated like ancestors, and they would even buy cat food and dog food. Chapter 1888. However, Zhao Ping's female cat was pregnant. After giving birth to kittens, she had to take care of the kittens. How could she have so much time to go out and look for food? Without enough nutrition during pregnancy, there was naturally not much milk. In addition, there were many kittens in one litter, so there was even less milk for each kitten. As a result, these kittens did not have enough milk and were all very skinny. Eat slowly, eat slowly. No one is fighting with you. Zhao Yun'er did not care if the kitten understood or not. She gently stroked the kitten's head with her finger. It's probably too hungry. Liang Jinxiao said. Yes. We have to feed it on time every day. Let it eat until it's full. I hope it can survive. Yes. When it's a little older, it can eat food. Then it'll be easier to raise it. The mother and daughter stared at the kitten. Zhao Yun'er was afraid that it would eat too much and die. Seeing that it was enough, she hurriedly took the bowl away. The kitten looked as if it had not had enough and kept licking its mouth with its tongue. It's so pitiful. Zhao Yun'er held it in her hands and stroked it. At this time, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu came back from playing outside. Together with them was Xiaohei, who had gone out to play with the two children. Xiaohei had a garland in its mouth. It was probably made by Daodu or Zhao Tianfu. As soon as he saw the kitten in Zhao Yun'er's hands, Daodu immediately came over. Mother, what is this? A kitten? Yes, it is. Mother, this kitten is really small. Of course. Zhao Yun'er replied. The kitten is only half a month old. It will take a few months to grow up. Daodu nodded as if he understood. Then he looked at Zhao Yun'er pleadingly. Mother, can Daodu hold it for a while? Yes, but you have to be careful. Don't drop it. Mother, Daodu will definitely be careful. As he spoke, Daodu carefully took the kitten from Zhao Yun'er's hands and stroked the kitten's head a few times. The kitten rubbed its head against Lil P's small hand after a few times. Daodu pointed at the kitten in surprise. Mother, it's moving. Zhao Yun'er didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He's alive, of course he can move. Do you think he's a toy? Daodu's little face was filled with a pure smile. I thought it was asleep. Its eyes are closed. Zhao Yun'er explained patiently. He's not forcing himself because he's asleep, but because he can't open his eyes now. After a while, he'll naturally open his eyes. Daodu asked in surprise, Mother, is that true? Yes, Daodu was like this when he was young too. When he was born, he couldn't open his eyes either. He only opened them later. Dauda's eyes turned and he sighed. Ah, mother, Dauda doesn't remember any of this. Of course he didn't remember. How could such a young child have any memory? Dauda stared at the kitten in his hands for a while, then asked Zhao Yuner, Mother, should we give the kitten a name too? Even Blackie has a name. We should give the kitten one too. Chapter 1889. Dauda was more than happy to complete this task, and a bright smile was plastered on his little face. He replied, Okay. Mother, is it a boy or a girl? Before choosing a name, Dauda first asked about the gender. Only after determining the gender could they choose a name that was more appropriate. Zhao Yuner glanced down at the kitten, and then replied to Dauda, It's a girl. Dauda stared at Zhao Yuner in surprise and asked, Mother, how can you tell if it's a boy or a girl just by looking at it? How can you tell? Zhao Yuner didn't know how to explain it to Dauda. Come to think of it, it really was a dirty thing. This little thing was similar to a human, so it could be differentiated based on the person. Male cats would grow a little penis, while female cats wouldn't. Could it be that she was going to educate a 3-year-old child about sex? What's wrong, mother? Dauda blinked his big eyes and asked. Zhao Yuner smiled and patted Dauda's head. Yes, Dauda will understand when he grows up. Really? Yes. Dauda thought for a while, and didn't pursue the topic any further. Instead, he thought about what name to give the kitten. Mother, look at the fur on its body. It's a flower. Why don't we call it Little Flower? Zhao Yuner was amused by this name. It was really arbitrary. Just like Little Black, it was named according to its fur. There was no need to be so particular about it. However, there was a good saying. The more vulgar, the more elegant. Although the name was a little simple, it was very suitable for the kitten. It was easy to remember. Okay, we'll call it Little Flower, just like Dauda. Dauda's big eyes blinked a few times. Mother, really? Of course. Dauda had a satisfied smile on his face. He hugged the kitten in his arms and shouted, Little Flower, your name is Little Flower from now on. Do you want to remember? The kitten didn't respond, but it rubbed its head against Dauda's palm a few times. Hee, mother, look, Little Blossom seems to like this name too. Yeah. Mother, why don't we build a nest for it? Zhao Yuner thought about it and felt that it was indeed necessary. This kitten cub was too small, so he had to take good care of it. Otherwise, he didn't know if there would be any accidents and he couldn't raise it. Like a flower in a greenhouse, it must be taken good care of. All right. Zhao Yuner said and took out a small wooden basin. She put some straw in the small wooden basin, and then put a piece of rag in it. The wooden basin became very soft. Dauda carefully placed Little Blossom in the wooden basin. Mother, Little Blossom looks so cute. Dauda hid in the wooden basin. He couldn't bear to look away from Little Blossom. Little Black put down the garland in his hand, and walked over to the wooden basin. Little Black was probably curious about this new species. He stretched his nose and sniffed. Dauda patted Little Black's head and said, Little Black, you can't hurt Little Blossom. You're the older brother. You have to take good care of your sister, okay? Just like how I take care of little sister Xiao Xiao. Little Black seemed to understand Dauda's words. He lowered his head and whimpered a few times. Chapter 1890. When Zhao Yuner saw this scene, she wanted to laugh. It was the same as what parents would say to their older child when they had a second child in the 21st century. Dauda was only 3 years old, yet he could say something like this. His little head must be extremely smart, right? When Little Hay heard Dauda's words, he licked Dauda's little finger and whimpered a few times. Eehee. In the future, Little Blossom will accompany Little Hay. You guys will be very happy together. Dauda laughed. Zhao Yuner thought that under normal circumstances, cats and dogs wouldn't get along well, but there were exceptions. In the future, she would raise both dogs and cats at home. She hoped that the cats and dogs would get along well, so that they wouldn't cause trouble. Okay, Dauda, let Little Blossom sleep for a while. She needs to rest. Zhao Yuner reminded. Okay, mother. Dauda replied sweetly. When she saw Dauda playing outside, Zhao Yuner came back with a basin of cold water. She washed Doubta's hands first. Touching animals like kittens and puppies was the easiest way to breed bacteria. Children also liked to put their hands in their mouths. In the afternoon, Zhao Yun began to make zongzi with her family. Making zongzi wasn't Zhao Yun's specialty. When she was in the 21st century, her mother usually made zongzi well. Every time the Dragon Boat Festival came, the zongzi at home couldn't be finished. Other than the zongzi made by their own family, their relatives would also give them some. Therefore, she didn't need to spend time making zongzi. Compared to the big zongzi leaves that she bought in the 21st century, the ones that Zhao Yun bought this time were much smaller. Zhao Yun saw old Madame Liang skillfully stack 2 leaves together, then bend them into an arc and stuff the glutinous rice inside. Zhao Yun copied old Madame Liang's way of wrapping zongzi. Although she could also wrap zongzi, her zongzi was a bit ugly compared to old Madame Liang. She definitely couldn't give the food away. She would keep it for herself because she really couldn't afford to give it away. The candied dates and salted meat zongzi were separated. Zhao Yun tied a red string to make a mark. Later, she would eat salted meat dumplings. As for the other dumplings, they could eat whatever they liked. After a while, Zhao Yun's basket was filled with zongzi. Zhao Yun counted, there are really a lot of bags, there are more than 200. Although it was a little small, it was still quite a lot. He had to send 20 over to Zhao Ping to let him have a taste. Previously, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua had discussed with her about sending some to Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua. Although they had separated from the family, Zhao Baoshan and Hua Chunhua were still Zhao Wenhua's parents. They should be filial to them during the new year. As for her uncles, she was going to send some to the 2nd and 4th branches, but she had already sent some to the other branches. It wasn't good to leave out the 1st branch, so she might as well send some to everyone. However, she couldn't send too many. At most, each branch could only send 15. There were only about 100 zongzi left. With so many people in the family, they could probably finish it. Zongzi weren't like other things. They could be preserved for a period of time without spoiling. Unlike other things, they would definitely spoil after being left for so many days. Haha, with the 3 of us, it didn't take us long to finish wrapping more than 200 zongzi. Old Madame Liang laughed with a satisfied smile on her face. Zhao Yun flattered. Grandma is still the best. You made so many by yourself. And you made the most beautiful ones. Chapter 1891. Old Madame Liang was very happy with Zhao Yun's flattery. She smiled at Zhao Yun and said, "You girl, it's easy to make people happy with your words. It's just making zongzi. Grandma is not as good as you say. You almost praised me to the heavens." Looking at the smile on old Madame Liang's face, Zhao Yun was very satisfied. "Grandma, let's go cook zongzi." Okay. Zhao Yun moved these zongzi to the kitchen and boiled water in a big pot. Now that there was a lot of wood in the house, a pile of firewood in the kitchen, a pot of water boiled in a short time. The zongzi were cooked in the pot for more than 10 minutes. She quickly scooped them up and continued to cook the rest. After cooking a total of 3 zongzi, 200 zongzi were cooked. "Mother, it smells so good." Doubta smelled the fragrance of the zongzi and couldn't wait to get close to Zhao Yun, wanting to eat one. Speaking of which, Doubta hasn't eaten zongzi since he was old. Before, when the original owner took Doubta, the family was too poor to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Now that her soul crossed over, the days slowly got better. This year's Dragon Boat Festival, she still had money to buy glutinous rice to make zongzi. Zhao Yun smiled, took out a zongzi and soaked it in cold water. She was afraid that it would be too hot and burn Doubta's mouth. Waiting for the zongzi to cool down, Zhao Yun gently peeled off the zongzi leaves. A fragrant smell of zongzi leaves drilled into Zhao Yun's nostrils. The fragrance of zongzi was mixed with the fragrance of bacon. Just smelling this smell, people couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva into their stomachs. They were really hungry. "It really smells so good." Doubta's eyes stared at the zongzi in Zhao Yun's hand. He couldn't wait to eat it immediately. Zhao Yun wanted to laugh, but she felt that Doubta's life was too pitiful. This child had suffered a lot with the original owner. "Come on, it's time to eat. Be careful, don't choke." Zhao Yin'er warned. Yes, yes. Dao held the dumplings and started eating. However, her mouth was not as big as a rice dumpling, so when she ate, her whole mouth was covered in glutinous rice. Dao, on the other hand, didn't feel uncomfortable at all. He continued to spoil the dumplings and nibble on them while praising them in satisfaction. Mother, it's so delicious. No wonder so many people like to eat zongzi. It turns out that zongzi are really delicious. Soon, Dao finished a dumpling. Zhao Yin'er asked, Have you had enough? Do you want another one? Dao nodded shyly. Yes, I want more. Okay, then I'll peel another one for you. Zhao Yin'er took out another one without hesitation. Seeing Dao eat with satisfaction, the smile on Zhao Yin'er's face became more and more blissful. However, she was afraid that Dao's stomach would be too full, so Zhao Yin'er only gave him 2 to eat. Dao licked his small hands, as if he still hadn't had enough. After all the zongzi were cooked, Zhao Yin'er called the family to eat as well. Although zongzi weren't very delicious, they always gave people a very strange feeling. Perhaps in addition to being a delicacy, it represented the meaning of the Dragon Boat Festival. Zhao Yin'er ate 3 in one go. She was afraid that if she ate too much, she wouldn't be able to eat at night, so she deliberately restrained herself. Zhao Wenhua, on the other hand, had a big appetite. She ate 8 in one go and didn't feel full. Chapter 1892. After being reminded by Liang Jinxiao, Zhao Wenhua realized that he had eaten 8 dumplings in one go. Zhao Wenhua smiled bitterly. He looked very shy and embarrassed. He felt that he had eaten too much in one go. Well, Yin'er's mother, I've never eaten such delicious dumplings in all my decades of life. I've eaten 8 of them before I knew it. Liang Jinxiao was amused by Zhao Wenhua, but he agreed with Zhao Wenhua's words very much. She also felt that these were the best dumplings she had eaten in decades. The glutinous rice was fresh and of the best quality, unlike the old glutinous rice they used to make dumplings. Moreover, they only used white rice to make dumplings before. They didn't use bacon today, so the taste was naturally different. It's fine. It's fine if you eat more. I'm just afraid that your stomach will swell. Zhao Wenhua touched his stomach and smiled. He replied, Okay, then I won't eat anymore. If I eat more, I might really swell. Okay. Liang Jinxiao replied. When Zhao Yin'er was about to send the dumplings to old Zhao's house, Mu Lianfeng and Mo Yin came down from the mountain. As soon as Mo Yin walked into Zhao Yin'er's house, he took a deep breath. Wow, it smells so good. It's the smell of dumplings. When he was at home, his parents would make dumplings for him every year during the Dragon Boat Festival. This year, he had a mission and couldn't go out, so he didn't get to eat dumplings. As soon as he smelled the familiar fragrance, Mo Yin thought of his parents. He couldn't help but feel sad. With his parents around, he didn't travel far. Although he wanted to be with his parents often, sometimes it was not something he could hope for. It smells so good. Mu Lianfeng also responded. He knew that Zhao Yin'er's house was making dumplings today, so he knew that the dumplings must have been cooked when he smelled the familiar fragrance. He didn't expect to be able to eat dumplings as soon as he came down the mountain. You're back? Let my mother make some zongzi for you. There are many in the kitchen, Zhao Yin'er said with a smile. Mo Yin answered eagerly. Okay, thank you, madam. Madam treats me the best. Zhao Yin'er became rather happy from Mo Yan's words. You guys eat. I still have something to do, so I'll leave first. Yes, madam. Zhao Yin'er went to Zhao Ping's house first with a basket of zongzi. After delivering the zongzi, she went to old Zhao's house. After wandering around Zhao Ping's house, Zhao Yin'er couldn't help but sigh. It turned out that when one was poor, one could really be poor to a certain extent. Zhao Ping's house was almost the same as her previous thatched hut. There were many places where the wind leaked out. Because he was a man, Zhao Ping didn't know how to tidy up the house, so the house was a mess. It really wasn't easy for a man to live without a wife. When Zhao Yin'er arrived at old Zhao's house, she found that old Zhao's house was noisy again. But this time it was because of Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui was injured and was saved by Qin Yuan. He went to the medical center to have his injuries checked. The doctor prescribed some medicine. As long as he took the medicine according to the requirements and rested for a while, he would be fine. But because he was seriously injured, he had to lie in bed for at least half a month to a month. Chapter 1893. Hu Chunhua yelled at the top of her lungs, cursing incessantly in the courtyard. Which black-hearted bastard actually dared to lay his hands on my Hui? This old woman curses all 18 generations of his ancestors to have a son without a D***ck. That wretched bastard is so heavy-handed. Aren't they afraid that someone will die? My precious daughter, nothing can happen to you. Mother only has one daughter. If anything happens to you, mother won't want to live anymore. Hua Chuanhua's behavior could be said to be extremely exaggerated. Zhao Xinhui glanced indifferently at Hu Chunhua and said unhappily, Mother, can you stop yelling? Are you afraid that our neighbors won't come over to join in the fun? Only then did Hu Chunhua lower her voice resentfully, but she still continued to ask, Hui, tell mother, what's wrong with you? Didn't you go to look for young Master Huang today? Why did you come back with injuries all over your body? Speaking of this topic, Zhao Xinhui didn't know how to tell Hu Chunhua, especially in front of so many people. If her mother knew that young Master Huang had abandoned her, and that she could no longer live a good life, she would probably yell at the top of her lungs again and spread the news to everyone. She couldn't afford to lose face like this. Mother, don't ask about this matter. I'll tell you later. Hu Chunhua was even more curious. Hui, what's so hard to say? If you don't say it now, mother will be worried to death. In any case, you should tell mother who injured you so badly so that mother can go and settle the score, right? Looking at your injuries, I'll have to extort at least 10 taels of silver back. Otherwise, we can't just let this go for nothing, right? Before Zhao Xinhui could speak, Zhao Ping'er snorted coldly. Grandmother, I'm afraid you won't be able to settle the score with them. Hu Chunhua frowned. I say, Ping'er girl, what do you mean by that? Grandmother, that's because you don't know why younger aunt was injured. I know, I saw it today. Hu Chunhua pressed. Girl, can you speak faster? Why do you have to make me anxious? You'll only be happy if you say a few sentences in one sentence. Zhao Ping'er's temper instantly, but she took pleasure in Zhao Xinhui's misfortune. She said in a mocking tone, Grandmother, you can't blame anyone else for this matter. It's younger aunt's fault. It's all younger aunt's. She caused a ruckus on the streets today and even scolded someone. He just couldn't stand her, so he took action to teach her a lesson. There are so many people on the street. Who knows whose fist landed on little aunt's body? It's not like he's from our village. Where are you going to find him? Her ofs of her Chunhua. Was of hers of her. SSS of s. She. As her he didn't even know who the culprit was. How was she supposed to find the culprit? It seemed that Zhao Xinhui was really suffering in silence this time. She could only bear this grievance in vain. After Zhao Ping'er finished speaking, Zhao Xinhui was instantly unhappy. She pointed at Zhao Ping'er and scolded. Ping'er girl, what do you mean by that? Are you asking for a lesson with your cheap mouth? Did I allow you to speak? You're up to no good. I think you can't wait for me to get injured, right? Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips. Younger aunt, I'm telling the truth. Even if I don't say it today, it'll spread to the village tomorrow. Grandmother will definitely know anyway. There were so many people in town at that time. There were also people in our village. After hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Zhao Xinhui's eyes reddened even more. Chapter 1894. If she was really seen by the people in the village, there would be rumors of her being ridiculed. How could she continue to stay in Shuilan village? Zhao Ping, or why you better not go overboard. Zhao Xinhui warned through gritted teeth. When Qin Yuan saw Zhao Xinhui's anger, he immediately stood up and walked over to Zhao Ping. He gave Zhao Yin a few tight slaps. You be *tch, didn't you hear what your aunt said? You don't have a good memory, and only know how to spout nonsense. I think you need to be taught a lesson. Zhao Ping'er's face instantly turned red and swollen. She was completely stupefied. Big brother Yuan actually hit her, and hit her so hard. It was all for that *tch Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Ping'er's eyes were filled with tears. She felt very wronged. Qin Yuan was clearly her husband, but he was protecting Zhao Xinhui, making her seem like an outsider. Big brother Yuan. Zhao Ping'er started sobbing. However, Qin Yuan did not feel sorry for Zhao Ping'er at all. He warned her, "Stupid B***tch, if you make your aunt unhappy again, see how I'll continue to teach you a lesson." Zhao Ping'er was frightened by Qin Yuan. Although she was unwilling because she loved Qin Yuan in her heart, she still bit her lower lip and responded, "I got it." Qin Yuan then said to Zhao Xinhui obsequiously, "Aunt, look, I'll teach that stupid B***tch Zhao Ping, or a lesson for you. You have to recuperate properly now. Don't be bullied. Otherwise, your body won't be able to take it." Okay. Zhao Xinhui glanced at the red marks on Zhao Ping's face and felt much better. Qin Yuan was still the best. He taught Zhao Ping'er a lesson, and Zhao Ping'er did not even dare to make a sound. However, Hu Chunhua continued to nag. It's over. What should we do? Little Hui. Aren't you just being bullied for no reason? I think we should tell young Master Huang about this matter, and let him bring you back to the manor. You definitely won't be able to recuperate well at home, right? The Huang Manor's conditions are good. They'll definitely serve you well. Zhao Xinhui got angry at the mention of this. She felt that Hu Chunhua was poking her wound. However, after she said it, Hu Chunhua still nagged her again. Mother Zhao Xinhui's mother's Xinhui Zhao's way. Zhao Xinhui said unhappily, "At most I'll move out today. Whether I live or die has nothing to do with you." Hu Chunhua was stunned. She hurriedly said, "Little Huier, don't misunderstand me. That's not what I meant." "Then what do you mean?" "Ai Huier Zhao Xinhui, I just want you to live a better life. It's not a good idea for you to live a hard life at home. Look, you're covered in injuries. If young Master Huang sees you like this, he'll definitely feel sorry for you. Maybe he'll soften his heart and bring you back to the Huang Manor. It's already been a while. The limelight is definitely over. Young Master Huang won't have any problems bringing you back, right?" Zhao Xinhui smiled bitterly. She had already been chased out by young Master Huang. Young Master Huang had also put in a lot of effort to heal her injuries. Wouldn't it be a fool's dream if she wanted to go back to the Huang Manor? Fortunately, the child in her belly was fine. She only hoped that it would be born. In the future, she might even have to do a blood test to make young Master Huang believe her. However, that was impossible for now. Chapter 1895. Hu Chunhua furrowed her brows when she saw Zhao Xinhui's strange expression. She really couldn't understand why Zhao Xinhui would suddenly act like this. Shouldn't she mention young Master Huang? Zhao Baoshan, who was sitting in the courtyard, was smoking a pipe. He stopped what he was doing and said impatiently to Hu Chunhua, "The child is injured. What's the point of harping on and on about this? Can't you wait until Hui's injuries are healed? Let Hui decide whether she wants to go to the Huang estate or stay at home. Why are you blindly worrying about this?" After hearing Zhao Baoshan's words, Hu Chunhua's anger subsided a little. After thinking about Zhao Baoshan's words, she nodded and said, all right. Then let Hui rest well. Ai, what should we do with her injuries? I have to make some delicious food for Hui, to nourish her body. After saying that, Hu Chunhua wanted to go to the kitchen and get busy. Auntie, let me send you into the house. Qin Yuan said politely. He was about to carry Zhao Xinhui when Hu Chunhua saw it. She glared at Qin Yuan and reprimanded him. What are you trying to do, you stinking brat? You're even trying to touch my Hui. Let me tell you, don't even think about having ideas about my Hui. My Hui, isn't someone you can climb up to. After being reprimanded by Hu Chunhua, Qin Yuan was a little embarrassed. However, he knew that Hu Chunhua was speaking the truth. He was indeed climbing up to Zhao Xinhui. Just as Qin Yuan was feeling sad, Zhao Xinhui unhappily retorted to Hu Chunhua, Mother, what are you talking about? He helped me out of kindness and you're still harping on it. If it weren't for Qin Yuan, I wouldn't have been able to come back today. Hu Chunhua hadn't thought of this. What she said just now was indeed a little too much. Zhao Baoshan said, Huir is right. Old woman, don't make false claims before you figure out the situation. You'll only embarrass yourself if you misunderstand others. Hua Chunhua grunted in response. But old man, Huir is a girl after all. It's not good to let this brat send her into the house. We have a lot of family members. Second brother, fourth brother, hurry up and send Hui into the house. Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wentao responded. They walked to Zhao Xinhui and helped Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Xinhui reluctantly, hoping that he would be the one to send Zhao Xinhui into the house. Qin Yuan put away the reluctance in his eyes and silently turned his head away. Zhao Baoshan thought that Qin Yuan had helped him a lot today, so he said to Hua Chunhua, "Old woman, why don't you cook more delicious food for them to stay for dinner tonight?" Hua Chunhua grunted in response. "All right then. I'll prepare a few more dishes later. It's just nice that I want to nourish Huir's body." Zhao Baoshan grunted in response, then looked at Qin Yuan and Zhao Ping'er. "Why don't the two of you stay for dinner?" How could Qin Yuan disagree? He hurriedly replied happily, "Sure, sure." At this moment, he wished that he could stay at old Zhao's house. That way, he could see Zhao Xinhui every day. Zhao Ping'er couldn't help but remind him, "Big brother Yuan, if we stay for dinner, won't it be dark when we return? It's not easy to walk at night." Chapter 1896. But, if you continue to blabber, do you believe that I won't slap you again? Qin Yuan reprimanded her sternly. Zhao Ping'er trembled in fear and hurriedly shut her mouth. "Big brother Yuan, I won't say anything, all right." Zhao Baoshan took a puff of his pipe and said, "Don't worry. Ping'er won't be back too late. I'll get your grandmother to cook now. She'll finish eating early and go back. You didn't come here on two legs. Aren't you driving a donkey? Moreover, the sky is getting darker and darker. There's still a long time before it gets dark." After Zhao Baoshan finished speaking, Qin Yuan hurriedly agreed from behind. Yes, yes, yes. Master is right. It's not too late now." Zhao Ping'er was still resentful in her heart. How could she not know that Qin Yuan was reluctant to leave? When she thought about how Qin Yuan was still thinking about Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping'er's heart ached terribly. How could there be an aunt and a niece fighting over a man? Weren't they afraid of being laughed at if word of this got out? Yet her aunt was a shameless person. The more Zhao Ping'er thought about it, the angrier she got. If Zhao Xinhui really snatched her husband one day, she would definitely kick up a fuss and make sure that Zhao Xinhui couldn't be a person in the village in the future. What the hell was going on? Hua Chunhua hurriedly agreed. All right. I'll go cook now. I'll go to the chicken coop and get an old hen to stew some soup. I think we should buy some longans and brown sugar for Hui, to stew. She lost so much blood this time. She needs to recuperate well. Go quickly. Zhao Baoshan waved his hand and urged her. Okay. Hua Chunhua answered with a grin. In the blink of an eye, she arrived at the chicken coop and casually grabbed a fat old hen. When Zhao Wenshui saw this, he instantly felt jealous. His mother was really good to his little sister. She casually grabbed one of the chickens that they had painstakingly raised and gave it to Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. He thought about how he was caught by Hua Chunhua and scolded for only drinking a bowl of chicken soup last time. It was as if he had done something unforgivable. When he saw Hua Chunhua shaking the old hen in her hand and thought about the taste of the chicken soup, Zhao Wenshui couldn't help but swallow his saliva. He then went up to Hua Chunhua and spoke to Hua Chunhua's mother. "This old hen can make a lot of soup. Can I have a bowl of soup when the time comes?" When she met Zhao Wenshui's expectant eyes, not only did Zhao Wenshui not agree, but he even scolded Zhao Wenshui. "You're such a tasty but difficult cook. I didn't see you being so diligent when you were harvesting the vegetable seeds. You even asked your third brother and fourth brother to help you harvest them. Now you have the nerve to ask for chicken soup. When it comes to food, no one is as enthusiastic as you." After being scolded by Hua Chunhua, Zhao Wenshui felt embarrassed. However, he continued to think about Hua Chunhua's chicken soup. Since the banquet, he hadn't eaten anything good. Now he only felt that his mouth was tasteless and wanted to eat something with meat. Chicken soup was the best. With a layer of butter floating on top, it was fragrant and delicious. Knowing that Hu Chunhua definitely didn't want to give him chicken soup because she couldn't bear to part with it, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Mother, I won't drink your chicken soup for free. I'll pay you. Your son hasn't eaten anything good for a long time. Can't you give me a bowl of chicken soup?" Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes and said, "Okay, for copper coins per bowl." Chapter 1897. At this moment, Zhao Yin went to old Zhao's courtyard. After watching this scene, Zhao Yin only felt that it was very strange. Now that Zhao Xinhui was sent back, she would probably have to stay in old Zhao's house for a long time. As for the love triangle between Qin Yuan, Zhao Ping'er and Zhao Xinhui, it could be treated as a joke. "Ah, Yin girl is here." Seeing Zhao Yin come over, Qian Zhuzha hurriedly greeted her. When Feng Zhangxia caught a glimpse of the basket of dumplings in Zhao Yin's hand, she also hurriedly came over. "Yin girl, why are you here today?" Seeing Feng Zhangxia's hypocritical look, Zhao Yin ignored her because she still had to ask about something she didn't understand. Instead, she held the basket in her hand and said to Qian Zhuzha, "Fourth aunt, I'm here to give you some dumplings. They've just been cooked at home." Qian Zhuzha hurriedly said, "Hey Yin girl, you should eat the dumplings that your family made. Why are you still sending them to us? We have to make dumplings ourselves too." Zhao Yin smiled. "It's okay, fourth aunt. You can send some dumplings to me when you're done making them. You can have a taste of my dumplings first." Feng Zhangxia hurriedly agreed. "That's right, fourth sister-in-law. Since Yin girl is sending them over, you should just accept them. Why are you delaying it so much?" Feng Zhangxia was afraid that Qian Zhuzha would be too embarrassed to ask for them if she had already rejected them. Otherwise, wouldn't it seem that she was too greedy? But then again, my family may not be making dumplings today. Fourth sister-in-law, when your family makes dumplings, remember to send some to me to try. Zhao Yin couldn't help but roll her eyes. How could there be such a person? She only knew how to think about other people's things, but she was stingy. No one could compare to Feng Zhangxia's ability to be greedy for small gains. Qian Hongzhui had no choice but to agree. Since the other party had spoken, she couldn't say no, even though she was a little unhappy. After all, these days they couldn't even bear to eat rice, let alone glutinous rice dumplings. Wasn't it just for the sake of the festive feeling? When the time came, he would definitely not pack too many. At most, he would let Feng Zhangxia have a taste. He would not give her too many. "Here, fourth aunt, this is yours." Zhao Yin counted 15 zongzi and handed them to Qian Zhonghu. Although Qian Hongzhui was a little embarrassed, she still took it. At this time, Li Chuiying also came out. Zhao Yin counted 15 people and gave them to Li Chuiying. Feng Zhangxia immediately became anxious. Seeing that Zhao Yin hadn't given it to her, she hurriedly said, "Yin girl, where's mine? Where is mine?" The corner of Zhao Yin's mouth twitched. She replied indifferently, "Eldest aunt, why are you in such a hurry? It's not like it can run away." Feng Zhangxia's face reddened for a moment. Then she smiled embarrassedly and said, "This? Yin girl, aren't you looking forward to having an early bite to see what it tastes like?" Zhao Yin sneered. She was clearly afraid that the zongzi in her hand would run away, so she said that. Zhao Yin counted, then handed the eldest branch's portion to Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia took it and sighed in relief. She smiled and said, "Yin girl is still so kind. She gave us so much to eat. Yin girl, what kind of fillings are you packing?" Zhao Yin faintly replied, "Salted meat." Chapter 1898. Thinking about it, Zhao Yin's family was indeed a bit rich. They must have spent a lot of money to make so many meat dumplings. Their family had gotten 15 meat dumplings for free, so they really made a profit. Feng Zhangxia smiled and said, "Meat dumplings are good, meat dumplings are good. I've only eaten them once in my family's dozens of years of life, and I still miss the taste. I didn't expect that thanks to Yin, I can eat them again today." Zhao Yin, ignored Feng Zhangxia and sent the remaining 15 meat dumplings to Hu Chunhua. Feng Zhangxia was even more embarrassed. After a while, she hurried into the room with the meat dumplings in her hand to let the men and Shen Pan taste them. After all, they were good things. Although Hu Chunhua and Zhao Yin didn't get along, when Zhao Yin sent meat dumplings over this time, her expression became much better. She also pretended to be amiable towards Zhao Yin. Yin actually sent meat dumplings over. And my father asked me to send them over. He said that it's the holidays so that you and grandfather can try some dumplings. Zhao Yin didn't take credit and directly pushed the matter to Zhao Wenhua. After hearing Zhao Yin's words, Zhao Baoshan continued to smoke and said, "Third brother is a filial son. In our family, only third brother and fourth brother are the most filial. The others aren't anything good." Zhao Baoshan's words were straightforward and clear. Hu Chunhua replied, "Third brother and fourth brother are indeed more filial than the other two. Especially this second brother, who only knows how to eat and be lazy all day long. We're old now, so we can't count on him. It's already a good thing that he doesn't come over to ask for food. It was fine in the past, but after we split from the family, we can't control him anymore. He doesn't even farm his own family's land. I don't know what he wants to do." Just as she was scolding him, Zhao Wenxue came out of the room with some money. He looked at Hu Chunhua bitterly and muttered, "Mother, how can you say that about me?" Zhao Baoshan was still angry at Zhao Wenxue for not collecting the vegetable seeds. If it weren't for Zhao Wenxue, the vegetable seeds would have been wasted. These days, those vegetable seeds were worth a lot of money. If they were kept for a year, there would be enough oil for them to eat. So what if your mother says something about you? Wasn't that the truth? Aren't you the laziest in old Zhao's family? Even if you go to the village and take a look, you won't find many people like you. Zhao Wenxue was not convinced. "Dad, I'm just lazy for a while. Nothing will happen if I stay at home obediently. Look at Lu San in our village. He causes trouble all day long and flirts with little girls. Compared to that kind of person, at least my character is not bad, right?" Zhao Baoshan was amused by Zhao Wenxue and said sarcastically, "You brat, you still have the nerve to say that. I think you've almost forgotten about the incident between you and Widow Qian, right?" Zhao Wenxue was suddenly embarrassed. He blushed and called faintly, "Dad." Okay, don't talk about him. I'm annoyed when I see him." Hu Chunhua snorted softly. At the same time, she took the 4 copper coins in Zhao Wenshue's hand. Zhao Wenxue was very sad that he was being despised. He had no choice but to turn around and say, "Mother, remember to call me when the chicken soup is ready." I know. Hu Chunhua waved her hand impatiently. When he turned around, he suddenly caught a glimpse of the zongzi in Li Chueying's hand. He rushed to Li Chueying and grabbed them all. He complained, "You're really a woman. Why didn't you call me out to eat such good food?" Chapter 1899. Li Chueying grumbled. "Tianyu's father, I didn't call you on purpose. Isn't it because Yin just sent them over?" Zhao Wenxue snorted coldly and said, All right, you only know how to talk back. I'll eat these dumplings." Li Chueying hurriedly reminded him, "Tianyu's father, Yin only sent over a dozen dumplings. Don't eat them all by yourself. Give Tianyu some wine." She hadn't eaten any dumplings herself. She heard that Zhao Yin said they were salted meat dumplings, so she wanted to have a bite. Unfortunately, she didn't dare to tell Zhao Wenxue that this man was like this. He would probably scold her if he ate a dumpling. Zhao Wenxue replied impatiently, I know. You're so long-winded." After Zhao Wenxue finished speaking, he walked into the room with the dumplings. Seeing Zhao Wenshue's behavior, Zhao Yin was disgusted. She couldn't help but say to Li Chueying, "Second aunt, there are so many dumplings. Don't you want to eat any of them? Why don't you ask second uncle to get some for you?" I'll forget it. If he wants to eat, let him eat. I'm too lazy to argue with him. I don't want to make a scene at home." Li Chueying looked helpless. It was obvious that Li Chueying was heartbroken because of Zhao Wenxue. It was sad for a woman to meet a man like this. He was useless, and he even deliberately made you angry. Zhao Yun sympathized with Li Chuiying's fate. Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui was born in ancient times. Women relied on men to survive, and the divorce rate was not high. She was afraid that people would talk about it. If this was the 21st century, which woman would be able to tolerate her man being lazy and even flaunting his prowess at home? Second sister-in-law, you can eat my food. Qian Zhurong also sympathized with Li Chuiying. She took a few dumplings from the dumplings Zhao Yun'er gave her and stuffed them into Li Chuiying's hands. Li Chuiying hurriedly waved his hand and refused. Fourth sister-in-law, how can you do that? Yun'er gave it to you. Your family should eat it. Why are you giving it to me? Qian Zhonghu smiled and said, It's okay, second sister-in-law. You can eat it. I'll leave some at home to eat. I just want to taste it and hope to fill my stomach. Li Chuiying hesitated for a moment, but Qian Zhozha had already stuffed the dumplings into Li Chuiying's hands. Second sister-in-law, don't refuse me anymore. If you refuse again, I will be angry. Seeing Qian Zhonghu's serious face, Li Chun felt a little embarrassed and said, Then fourth sister-in-law, I just want one to try. Don't give me so many, okay? Qian Zhui thought about it. It was good for both of them to take a step back. She nodded and said, All right, second sister-in-law. You can try one. Okay. Li Chuiying responded with a smile, and a touch of emotion emerged in her heart. She was not old Zhao's sisters-in-law. She could not live in old Zhao's house anymore. On the other side, Hua Chunhua, who said Zhao Yun'er's dumplings, quickly took the dumplings into Zhao Xinhui's house. Whenever there was something good, the first thing he thought of was his daughter. He wanted his daughter to have a good taste. There were a total of 15 dumplings. 5 of them were given to Zhao Baoshan. She only needed to eat 2 dumplings. The remaining 8 were all given to Zhao Xinhui. In old Zhao's courtyard, everyone had already peeled off the dumplings and started eating. The fragrance of the bamboo leaves and the glutinous rice made everyone take a deep breath and swallow their saliva. Chapter 1900. It tastes even better. People say that zongzi with salted meat is different. It has a meaty aroma when you eat it. It's a pity that ordinary people like us can't afford to eat such zongzi. It's all thanks to Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er smiled. Actually, bacon isn't that expensive. So many zongzi only cost about 2 caddies of meat. It's only 30 copper coins more than the ordinary ones. Yun'er, we countrymen have to make a living. 30 copper coins isn't a small amount. Ordinary people can't bear to spend it. Zhao Yun'er smiled and thought about the hard days she had with Daodu at the beginning. Not to mention 30 copper coins, even if it was 3 copper coins, she was not willing to spend it. Poor people were like this when they spent money. They calculated carefully and hoped to save as much as they could. Everyone in the courtyard was eating happily, except for Zhao Ping, and Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping, couldn't help swallowing her saliva when she saw the food. She couldn't help but move closer to Zhao Yun, and ask Zhao Yun'er, you've given zongzi to other relatives. I'm your sister, so I have to get one too, right? Faced with Zhao Ping's matter-of-fact tone, Zhao Yun'er frowned in annoyance. Who do you think you are? Why should I give it to you? I'd rather give zongzi to a dog than to those heartless people. If I give it to a dog, the dog will wag its tail and bark at me. But Zhao Ping, what do you think I'll get if I give it to you? What else can you do except go against me every day? Zhao Ping's eyes suddenly turned red. Zhao Yun, fine, you treat me like this. Who's heartless? In my opinion, you're the most heartless one. You be *tisich. If you don't give it to me, I'll ask Mother for it. Mother will definitely give it to me. Zhao Ping, was about to walk towards Zhao Yun'er's house. Zhao Yun'er stared coldly at Zhao Ping. Sister Ping, don't waste your energy. I bought these dumplings with my own money. Without my approval, who would dare to give you the dumplings? Do you still think that Liang will spoil you like before? I can give you whatever you want. You're thinking too much. Zhao Ping, felt like she was about to vent her anger. Zhao Yun'er, you don't push your luck. Sister Ping, you're thinking too much. I've always been like this. You, on the other hand, don't push your luck. When the time comes, you won't be able to stay in your in-laws' family, and your maiden family won't like you either. You. Zhao Ping's fingers trembled. Looking at Zhao Yun'er's appearance, she wanted to teach her a lesson. However, she knew that it would be like hitting an egg against a rock. She wouldn't get any benefits. If there's nothing else, then I'll leave first. Zhao Yun'er curled her lips and walked towards her house. Facing Zhao Yun'er's swaggering back, Zhao Ping'er swallowed her anger. Zhao Ping'er originally wanted to go to Qin Yuan to cry and complain. Who knew that crying didn't work? Instead, she was caught by Qin Yuan and scolded. If you ask me, Zhao Ping'er, you're too stupid. Why did you have to go against Zhao Yun'er previously? Don't you know who to please? If you get closer to Zhao Yun'er now, I reckon that you won't miss out on us. Zhao Ping'er replied aggrievedly. Big brother Yuan, I just can't stand Zhao Yun'er's arrogant and proud look. Although she's my biological sister, she's very annoying. Chapter 1901. Alright. All you know is Ma Xiaofeng. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have had to share the money with Ma Xiaofeng. Qin Yuan reprimanded unhappily, thinking about the money he earned every day. Even though he only gave a portion to Ma Xiaofeng, it was still not a small amount. If you had kept the money for yourself, you would have been able to save up quite a bit. Yuan Gij, you can't say that. If it wasn't for Xiaofeng's suggestion, we wouldn't have known about selling pig offal. We've earned so much money. Haven't we lost out to Xiaofeng? You can't be unwilling to share the money with Xiaofeng, right? Qin Yuan couldn't be bothered with Zhao Ping'er anymore. He really didn't want to waste his breath on this stupid woman. He only hoped that he wouldn't be dragged down by Zhao Ping'er in the future. However, he didn't see any hope in the past. Now he was full of expectations. After all, after today, he knew that his aunt was willing to accept him. His originally silent heart was suddenly rekindled with new hope. Perhaps one day, he would be able to marry Zhao Xinhui. As for Zhao Ping'er, she had better be obedient. He was still willing to stay in the family Qin and order her around. However, if Zhao Ping'er didn't listen to him, then she could scram back to wherever she came from. He absolutely couldn't dirty his eyes. Zhao Ping'er stood in front of Qin Yuan with an aggrieved expression, afraid that Qin Yuan would hate her. When she thought about Zhao Xinhui again, Zhao Ping'er couldn't help but think about how she could distance Qin Yuan from Zhao Xinhui. If the two of them were often together, perhaps Zhao Xinhui would really seduce Qin Yuan and snatch her husband back. Although Qin Yuan was a little poor, that was in the past. Now, by relying on the pig offal, the family Qin was slowly becoming wealthy. Coupled with Qin Yuan's appearance, he was definitely one of the best men in the countryside. If Zhao Xinhui took a fancy to her, it would be even more understandable. Zhao Ping'er was thinking about this worriedly. On the other side, in the Tian family village, she didn't just think about Zhao Yun'er's family when she came back from town. He had to let Tian Wenhan go to Zhao Yun'er's house as soon as possible to clarify the matter. Otherwise, if someone else proposed the marriage first, their family would suffer a great loss. In the past 2 years, in order to support Tian Wenhan's studies, the Tian family had sold a lot of land. Their lives were getting harder and harder. Therefore, the family had to get more income now. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to last until Tian Wenhan passed the high scholar examination. When Tian Wenhan passed the high scholar examination, his life would definitely be much better. At that time, he would be able to become a high-ranking official, and all the previous hardships would be worth it. Now that he had gotten close to Zhao Yun'er's family, he asked Zhao Yun'er's family to provide some money to help his Wenhan continue his studies. In addition, his family would be able to live a better life during this period. After the Wu clan calculated everything in his heart, he couldn't wait to go to Zhao Yun'er's house and bring Tian Wenhan along to talk to them. When the Wu clan returned home with the ox cart, he patted his aching back. This ox cart was really uncomfortable. There were so many people, and it was very bumpy. Moreover, it was very slow. At his age, his waist and legs couldn't bear it at all. He thought about the donkey that Zhao Yun'er used. It was much faster to drive a donkey back home. With a donkey, he didn't have to squeeze with so many people. How comfortable it was. If he really waited for Zhao Yun'er to marry into his family, then wouldn't the things that Zhao Yun'er used now belong to the Tian family? Chapter 1902. Wu clan carried the basket and walked into their house. Their house was low and dilapidated, and the walls were cracked. Their house was considered dilapidated in the village. Their family was poor in the past, and they were laughed at by the villagers. Later, their child said that if they wanted to change their family's situation, they had to send their child to school and let their child stand out. Only then could they have a chance to change their lives and avoid being poor for the rest of their lives and never being able to raise their heads in front of others. Fortunately, their Wenhan was really angry. After spending money on his education, he studied very hard and later became a county official. This was unique in the village. These days, scholars were the most respected, especially Tian Wenhan, who became a county official. As long as he worked hard, Tian Wenhan could become a county official. How many people in the village could become an official? Therefore, after Tian Wenhan became a county official, the villagers were much more polite to the Tian family. From time to time, they would curry favor with them, and many people would often send vegetables to the Tian family. They were probably waiting for Tian Wenhan to become successful one day and repay them so that they could receive some benefits. After eating vegetarian dishes for many days, she and her child's father couldn't stand it anymore. They often felt that their stomachs were empty, and they didn't have much energy. Fortunately, there weren't many fields, and they didn't have to do too much work. However, thinking that Tian Wenhan worked hard every day to study, they couldn't not have any energy. Therefore, when they went to Yang City today, the Wu clan gritted their teeth and came back with half a caddy of meat. Although it wasn't a lot, it was enough to nourish Tian Wenhan's body. The owner of the stall was not bad. He gave them some fatty meat with enough oil. If they put it in a pot to make oil, they would definitely feel more energetic after eating it. After the Wu clan walked into the house, they put the basket in their hands on a stool. Then they walked to Tian Wenhan's house and looked in through the crack in the door. They saw Tian Wenhan sitting in front of the table, carefully flipping through a book in his hands. He was concentrating on reading. His thin and weak body showed a sense of determination. When the Wu clan saw this, they couldn't help but smile. What she was most proud of in her life was that she had given birth to such a promising son. He would put in a lot of effort to study for him. Now that he had passed the elementary scholar examination, he was working hard to prepare for the high scholar examination. However, when the Wu clan thought of Tian Wenhan waking up early and going to bed late every day to read books, they felt very distressed. After standing for a while, the Wu clan knocked on Tian Wenhan's door. Tian Wenhan finally reacted and looked in the direction of the door. "Mom, what's wrong?" Tian Wenhan asked. Wu clan walked in and said with a smile, "Wenhan, you don't have to study so hard. When it's time to rest, rest well. That's the most important thing. Mother saw that you've been watching for quite a while. Why don't you take a break and watch again?" Tian Wenhan smiled and shook his head. "Mom, don't worry about me. I'm fine." "Even if you're fine, you should take a break. Chat with Mom for a while." Tian Wenhan thought for a while, then put down the book in his hands and replied, "Okay, Mom. I'll chat with you for a while. What do you want to talk about?" The Wu clan sat down next to Tian Wenhan and said mysteriously, "Wenhan, guess who I met in Yang City today?" Tian Wenhan frowned and thought for a while. Then he asked in confusion, "Mom, who did you meet?" Chapter 1903. Tian Wenhan was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the Wu clan to suddenly mention Zhao Yin. Mother. Seeing that Tian Wenhan was not right, the Wu clan continued to say earnestly, "Wenhan, Mother knows that you like Zhao Yin. If it weren't for that incident, Mother wouldn't have stopped you two from being together." Tian Wenhan felt a little uncomfortable at the mention of that incident. He was indeed reluctant to part with Zhao Yin, but his mother was very noisy. He couldn't bear to see her like that, so he agreed. Since then, he had little interest in other women. In his heart, he was still thinking about Zhao Yin. But after so many years, she suddenly mentioned Zhao Yin. He didn't know what his mother meant. "Mother, now that our two families have broken off the engagement, what's the point of saying this?" Tian Wenhan sighed. The Wu clan grabbed Tian Wenhan's hand and said earnestly, Wenhan, mother didn't agree to you two being together in the past. But at that time, other than that incident, it was because the Zhao family was poor. With that incident and the special circumstances, how could they be related to our Tian family? But now it's different. Mother saw that Zhao Yin even drove a donkey. The aunt next door also said that the Zhao family is different from before. They are starting to become rich. They have built a big house. It's very impressive. Hearing the Wu clan's words, Tian Wenhan was silent. It turned out that the Zhao family had changed so much after so many years. But hearing that Zhao Yin-er's family was living a much better life, Tian Wenhan was happy. He was naturally happy that Zhao Yin-er could live a better life. Since he couldn't stay by Zhao Yin-er's side, he had to watch Zhao Yin-er live a good life, right? Mom, what are you talking about? Tian Wenhan couldn't help but ask. He felt that it was strange for the Wu clan to suddenly bring this up. This. Wu clan smiled awkwardly, then pulled Tian Wenhan aside and said, Wenhan, it's like this. Mother was thinking that you and Yin-er were in love with each other back then, and had a good relationship. Although our Tian family broke off the engagement, that Yin-er girl didn't remarry and is still at home. Tian Wenhan was even more puzzled. Mom, if she's not married, then so be it. That's her business. Why do you care about her now? Wu clan's mouth twitched and he said with a smile, Isn't mother thinking that since you're unmarried and she's unmarried, why don't we go to their house to propose marriage? I think that Yin-er girl is still thinking about you in her heart. If we go to their house again, they'll definitely agree to this marriage. Tian Wenhan frowned and refused. Mom, how can we do that? It's not nice of us to do that. We've already broken off the engagement. How can we still have the face to propose marriage? We'll probably be kicked out before we even get there. Moreover, Tian Wenhan thought about how he accidentally bumped into Zhao Yun'er last time. Zhao Yun'er seemed to be unable to resist him. Since it was like this, how could he propose marriage? How could he be willing to marry her if he forgot about her? Wu clan didn't agree, and said with a straight face, Wenhan, you can't say that. You're so good that you can't even find a single person in the surrounding villages. When you pass the provincial exam, you can become an official. Zhao Yun'er will be the wife of an official after she marries you. She got pregnant before marriage, and her conditions aren't good to begin with. It's her blessing that you can marry her. What reason does she have to refuse? Chapter 1904. Tian Wenhan was not happy. He muttered, Mother, how can it be like this? The Wu clan insisted. Wenhan, I don't care. You have to go to Zhao Yun'er's house. What if this marriage is successful? After you marry Zhao Yun'er, our Tian family's financial pressure will be reduced a lot. When the time comes, we can ask their family to sponsor your studies. When you pass the provincial examination and become an official, won't you take them to enjoy life together? Mother, I can't. Tian Wenhan refused. Don't say any more. I don't care. Wenhan, I'll go back and prepare. You and I will go to the Zhao family together. Before Tian Wenhan could refuse, the Wu clan left Tian Wenhan's room. Tian Wenhan felt helpless for a moment. However, when he thought of Zhao Yun'er, Tian Wenhan's heart moved slightly. He could forget if he didn't think of her. However, when he thought of Zhao Yun'er, Tian Wenhan missed her. Ever since he separated from Zhao Yun'er, he hadn't met a girl he liked. Previously, matchmakers had come to his house to talk about marriage many times. However, he didn't like any of them. Instead, he felt that those girls couldn't compare to Zhao Yun'er. Perhaps in this life he would only think of Zhao Yun'er and couldn't tolerate other women. Back then, his parents didn't agree. This time, since they took the initiative to bring it up, should he accept? Perhaps he could give it a try. If Zhao Yun'er agreed, he could be with Zhao Yun'er after Tian Wenhan was moved. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. At old Zhao's house, after dinner and waiting for everyone to leave, Hu Chunhua continued to go to Zhao Xinhui's room. Facing Zhao Xinhui, Hu Chunhua chuckled and said, there's no one here now. Can you tell mother what's going on? Didn't I go to look for young Master Huang today? How did you come back with so many injuries? Now that there was no one around, Zhao Xinhui knew that no one would laugh at her. She was really annoyed by Hua Chuanhua's nagging, so she said honestly, "Mother, don't mention young Master Huang anymore. I can't go back in the future." Hua Chunhua stared blankly for a moment, her eyes filled with shock. What's going on? Why can't I go back in the future? Have you found young Master Huang? What did young Master Huang say? Hearing Hua Chuanhua's nagging, Zhao Xinhui was very annoyed. "Mother, you ask so many questions at once. How can I answer you?" Hua Chunhua quickly said, Okay. Take your time and answer them one by one." Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips and finally said, "Mother, what's there to say? It's just that young Master Huang won't let me go back." Zhao Xinhui recounted what happened that day. When Hua Chunhua heard it, she immediately exploded. "What? How could you do that? That legal wife is so shameless. How could she do such a thing? Isn't it obvious? Who else could the child in your stomach belong to other than young Master Huang? Mother, what's the use of saying that to me? Young Master Huang won't believe it. Why don't Mother go to his house and talk to him? How can this do? It's obvious that she's framing him. You can't take the blame for this. The Huang family is so rich. You can live a good life if you go back. You can't give up so easily. Didn't that legal wife frame you because young Master Huang dotes on you? Chapter 1905. Hua Chuanhua's heart sank. Without young Master Huang, she would lose her income and support. Could it be that her little would not be able to return to the Huang family? What should she do? It wasn't easy for her daughter to marry into a good husband's family, but now it seemed that her hopes were dashed. How could such a thing happen to her after she got married? It was impossible for Zhao Xinhui to continue staying in her maiden home. Not to mention, she had to serve her all day long. If she didn't go to the Huang family, where would Zhao Xinhui get money? She couldn't possibly spend the rest of her life with that little bit of money. Seeing Hua Chuanhua's ugly smile, Zhao Xinhui was a little angry. Mother, what do you mean by this? Do you not want me to stay at home? At worst, I'll just move out. Hua Chunhua quickly waved her hand. No, little Mother didn't mean anything. Don't think too much. How can you move out with your body like this? You have to recuperate well at home. Mother still has to make good food for you. Zhao Xinhui sneered and replied, Mother, since that's the case, then shut up. Don't talk so much. Aren't you afraid of annoying people to death with your nagging? Hua Chunhua sighed and could only agree. Okay. Mother will listen to you, okay? I won't say anymore. After Hua Chunhua finished speaking, she left Zhao Xinhui's room. However, her face was still full of worry. The good life that she had been looking forward to. Was it going to return to its original state? She was used to living a good life. If she had to live a hard life again, she couldn't bear it. No, she had to think of a good way. Otherwise, what could she do if this continued? Zhao Baoshan noticed that Hua Chunhua had been sighing nonstop after coming out of Zhao Xinhui's room, as if she had encountered something. He asked impatiently, I say, what's wrong with you, old woman? She kept sighing as if she had encountered a huge problem. Could she not be like this? Just listening to your voice makes me annoyed. Hua Chunhua put on a bitter face and said to Zhao Baoshan with an aggrieved look, Old man, what are you talking about? I'm just worried. Zhao Baoshan snorted. You're worried? Tell me, what are you worried about? Hua Chunhua pursed her lips. Old man sigh, aren't you worried about Hui? Hearing Hua Chunhua mention Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Baoshan replied disdainfully, he's just a little injured. He'll be fine after resting for a while. Hua Chunhua continued to sigh. Hey old man, that's not what I'm worried about. Zhao Baoshan replied impatiently. Can't you just say it in one breath? You're going to stop here and there. I don't even know what you want to say. Hua Chunhua thought for a while. She couldn't confide in others. If she didn't tell Zhao Baoshan, she would have no one to talk to. After hesitating for a while, she said to Zhao Baoshan, Old man, it was Lord Huang who kicked Hui out of our house. She can't go back to the Huang family's house anymore. It's all because of his vicious wife. She said that Hui had an affair with another man and got pregnant. Hearing Hu Chuanhua's words, Zhao Baoshan sat on the bed and took a long drag of his pipe without saying a word. Chapter 1906. Zhao Baoshan didn't care. What should we do? What can we do? Let's just do it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, she wasn't married before, and she didn't expect to be married at that time. Now, she can go back to her mother's house and live there for the rest of her life. Besides, we were poor before, so we probably didn't have enough money to support Hui. Now the money that Hui brought back from the Huang family's house is enough for us to live in luxury for the rest of our lives. There's nothing to worry about. Hu Chunhua felt that Zhao Baoshan's words were somewhat reasonable. Zhao Xinhui's marriage was grand at that time, and Lord Huang was such a rich man. Everyone in the village was envious of her. If people knew that Zhao Xinhui was chased back to her mother's house not long after she got married, many people in the village would laugh at her. She was also a person who cared about her reputation. She couldn't stand others laughing at her. Every time she thought of that kind of feeling, she felt very upset. Alas! Hu Chunhua sighed heavily. She looked very sad. Zhao Baoshan couldn't stand Hu Chunhua's behavior, so he put down his tobacco pipe. Stop sighing. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm going to sleep now, Zhao Baoshan said, then took off his clothes and went to bed directly. He fell into a deep sleep the moment his head hit the pillow. Hu Chunhua's mind was filled with those bad emotions, so she couldn't fall asleep even in the middle of the night. Zhao Yun'er's family didn't have much work to do these days. They just took care of the paddy field. After it rained for many days, the paddy field was full of water. Many seedlings were submerged. Previously, they wanted to fill the paddy field with water, but now they were busy draining the paddy field. However, they got a lot of good things while draining the paddy field. After the heavy rain, the paddy field was filled with loaches, eels, crabs, fish, and shrimps. In addition, Zhao Wenshui caught 2 big turtles and brought them over. These things were packed into a small bucket. In the countryside, fish and shrimp were not considered good food. Compared to fish, everyone preferred to eat pork. After all, fish did not have much oil. Only pork had enough oil. As for Old Turtle, Zhao Wenshui originally planned to catch it for his 2 children to play with. In the countryside, no one would eat this thing. Its shell was especially hard, and the villagers felt that it was not something that could be eaten. It was even thought to be poisonous, so under normal circumstances, no one would touch it. However, when Zhao Wenshui brought it back, Zhao Yun'er treated it like a treasure. Thinking about it, ancient people were really interesting. In the 21st century, people in ancient times were too lazy to eat things that everyone thought were good. For example, in the 21st century, all kinds of wild vegetables could not be bought with money. Those wild vegetables could only be eaten by people in the countryside. As for wild fish and old turtles, they were even rarer. In the 21st century, the ones sold in the world were basically all artificially bred, so Dao querying couldn't compare to wild ones. Wild old turtles were very nourishing things. When stewed into a soup, it tasted delicious, much better than pork rib soup and chicken soup. Now she could stew the old turtle and give it to Liang Jinxiao and her family to nourish their bodies. It was also very beneficial for old people like old lady Liang to eat. When Zhao Wenhua saw that Zhao Yun'er wanted to eat the old turtle, he asked with a puzzled expression, "Yun'er, do you think this thing is really edible? How can such a big shell be eaten?" Chapter 1907. Father, it's edible. It's just that you don't know how to handle it and how to make it delicious. You think it's inedible because you haven't tried it before. This thing tastes better than an old hen. Of course, if you don't handle it well, it won't taste good. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Wenhua nodded. He knew that Zhao Yun'er had a lot of ideas. Wasn't Yun the one who made all the delicious food at home? Thinking of the pig offal that Zhao Yun had made in the past, Zhao Yunlong was still sighing. It was difficult for others to sell it for a single copper coin, but in Zhao Yun'er's hands, it could be made into delicious food. Alright Yun'er, make it and try it. If it tastes good, I'll go to the fields to catch more. This thing isn't rare in our fields. You can catch it casually. Zhao Yin'er responded. Zhao Yin'er carefully cleaned the things that she caught. She could eat them directly without going to Yang City to buy good things. If they were in the 21st century, who knew how much money they would have to spend to buy so many good things? Zhao Yin'er handled the old turtle. Although it was a little troublesome, Zhao Yin'er swallowed her saliva when she thought about the taste of the old turtle soup. She worked harder. Soon, Zhao Yin'er finished handling the things that Zhao Wenhua brought back. She also put the old turtle into the pot and started cooking. After putting in the seasoning, Zhao Yin'er added wood and water in the stove and started cooking. She didn't put too much water in the pot. She was afraid that too much water would dilute the taste. When the time came, it would be enough for everyone at home to drink 1 or 2 bowls. Zhao Wenhua could just catch more and stew it a few more times. Mother, I'll go get some wild vegetables. Zhao Yin'er called out. In addition to meat dishes, Zhao Yin'er planned to make a few vegetarian dishes. Previously, she saw that the wild vegetables at the foot of the mountain were growing well. Now she wanted to pick some and cook them. After the rain, the wild vegetables had grown even more. However, not long after Zhao Yin'er left, Hu Chunhua arrived at Zhao Yin'er's house. During this period of time, Zhao Xinhui had been recuperating at home and had eaten a lot of good food. A few of the hens that he had raised had been eaten. If he continued to eat hens that could not lay eggs, he would have to buy more eggs when he returned. Therefore, Hu Chunhua reserved 2 or 3 for laying eggs. However, Zhao Xinhui would feel suffocated if he didn't eat good food for a day. He kept saying that he wanted to eat good food. Thinking about the injuries on Zhao Xinhui's body, Hu Chunhua felt that she really couldn't treat Zhao Xinhui shabbily. She couldn't be bothered to go to Yang City. After a long time, she came to the 3rd branch to see if she could get some good food from them. Therefore, she came over now. The moment she walked into Zhao Yun'er's courtyard, Hu Chunhua shouted at the top of her lungs, third brother's wife. Mother, what's wrong? Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao both walked out. Usually, Hu Chunhua rarely came to the 3rd branch's courtyard. This time, she suddenly came over, so Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao thought that something had happened. Hu Chunhua said, "It's nothing. I just came to ask you for 2 hens. Don't you have some at home? Hui'er is injured, so she needs to eat good food to nourish her body. My family's chickens are almost finished, so I thought that the 3rd branch would have some." From Hu Chunhua's tone and attitude, it seemed like she wanted to take it for free. The 3rd branch naturally felt uncomfortable when they heard that. Now that they had separated from the family, the 3rd branch's things had nothing to do with old Zhao's family. Chapter 1908. If it was in the past, with Zhao Wenhua's stubborn and filial character, he would have probably stuffed 2 hens into Hu Chunhua's hands. Now that he had been following Zhao Yin'er around for the past few days, he had learned a lot of principles. It wasn't easy for a family to live a good life, so they couldn't be too kind. If they gave others whatever they wanted, it would only make them want a yard after taking an inch. Zhao Wenhua knew Hu Chunhua's character very well. She was the kind of person who would think of ways to take advantage of others. After hesitating for a moment, he said, "Mother, the hens we raise at home are all used to lay eggs. We can't even bear to eat them. If I catch 2 hens for you, we won't have enough eggs at home, and we'll have to spend money to buy more. It's not worth it." Hu Chunhua rolled her eyes at Zhao Wenhua. "You black-hearted son. You just don't want to give them to me. Why are you still talking so much? I've really raised you for nothing. When you were young, I raised you with all my might. Now that you're all grown up, I don't see you being filial to this old woman." Faced with Hu Chunhua's scolding, Zhao Wenhua felt uncomfortable. "Mother, I'm telling the truth. The hens we raise at home are indeed used to lay eggs. Why don't Mother go ask eldest brother and second brother? They should also be raising hens, right?" Hu Chunhua lightly snorted. The 1st branch and 2nd branch did indeed raise hens, but it wasn't easy to take advantage of them. The 1st branch was too stingy with Feng Zhangxia. If they really wanted an old hen, they would probably quarrel with her. As for the 2nd branch, what was so good about them? Zhao Wenshui would eat them first and definitely wouldn't give them to her. After thinking about it, the only possibility was to go to the third branch. Who asked the third branch to be rich? She had saved so much money at home, so what was 2 hens to her? Third brother, the richer people are, the more willing they are. Why is your family so stingy? You're already so rich. What's wrong with giving me 2 chickens? What's wrong with giving your little sister some nourishment? If 2 of your hens aren't enough to lay eggs in the future, Yun, or can just go to Yang City and buy more. Hua Chunhua scolded with a displeased expression. Zhao Wenhua was embarrassed. She didn't expect Hua Chunhua to expose her so directly. How did I give birth to such an unfilial son? If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have raised you when you were young. Hua Chunhua slapped her thigh and started making a fuss. She wanted to see if Zhao Wenhua would give in after making a fuss. Of course, the reason why Hua Chunhua dared to make a scene was that she didn't see Zhao Yuner come out. Without this ruthless character, Hua Chunhua was still somewhat confident in dealing with her son. She knew that her third son was usually considered filial, and wouldn't be able to accept her words. Zhao Tianan listened from the side and couldn't help but retort. Grandmother, why don't you have any conscience when you speak? Is my father not filial enough to you? After the Dragon Boat Festival, my father specially asked my second sister to send you salted meat dumplings. Did you see the other uncles send them? You have to put yourself in their shoes. You can't always criticize my father. After Zhao Tianan finished speaking, Hua Chuanhua's expression immediately darkened. Because Zhao Tianan was speaking the truth, Hua Chunhua appeared very agitated. Brat, how can you talk to your elders like that? Who are you to interrupt when I'm talking to your father? Zhao Tianan muttered unhappily. Grandmother, I'm not interrupting. I'm just stating the facts. You're in the wrong. What right do you have to criticize my father? Chapter 1909. Liang Jinxiao followed behind Zhao Wenhua and responded, Yes, mother. Everything in the house was bought by Yuner, so we have to get Yuner's permission before we can use it. Why don't you wait for a while? Yuner has gone out to pick wild vegetables. When Yuner comes back from picking wild vegetables, you can discuss with her and ask if she can catch 2 old hens for you. Is that okay? Hua Chunhua was not a fool. How could she not know that she had no chance of getting the 2 hens when Zhao Yuner came back? It was already good enough that Zhao Yuner did not argue with her. How could she kindly agree to give the 2 hens to her? Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao. You useless things. Why can't you make decisions as parents? 2 adults listening to a little girl. You don't even know where to put your face. In the face of Hua Chuanhua's criticism, Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao only lowered their heads and did not say a word. This way, Hua Chunhua could not do anything to them. Seeing that Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao had no intention of taking out the hens, Hua Chunhua was a little unhappy. Just then, a fragrant smell suddenly came from the kitchen. Hua Chunhua took a deep breath. The smell was really good. It was as fragrant as fish soup and chicken soup. She wondered what delicious food the third branch had cooked at home. Hua Chunhua rolled her eyes and walked straight to the kitchen. Even if she could not get the hens, she should at least search for something to bring back. Thus, Hua Chunhua walked with her short legs towards the third branch's kitchen. Before Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao could react, Hua Chunhua had already entered the room to open the pot. When she opened the pot, she found something stewing in it. Unfortunately, she couldn't recognize what it was. It was a strange pile of meat. It didn't look good, but it smelled very good. She thought that since the third branch had such good things, perhaps only wealthy families could eat them, so she didn't recognize them. Hua Chunhua scooped up a spoonful of soup and tasted it. She found that it was very delicious. Zhao Xinhui had been drinking chicken soup for a long time, and was probably tired of it. It was good to give her a change of taste. Hua Chuanhua's heart skipped a beat. She decided to cook all the soup in the pot for Zhao Xinhui. When Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao entered the kitchen, Hua Chunhua had already found a bowl, and was scooping soup with a spatula. Zhao Wenhua hurriedly asked, Mother, what are you doing? Hua Chunhua pursed her lips and said, Third son, it's fine if you don't want to give me 2 hens, but I have to fill this pot with soup for your little sister to try. Mother, Yuner stewed this. She will be angry if you do this. Hua Chunhua refused to let it go and retorted. So what if she stewed it? Isn't it just some soup? Can't you treat it as being filial to your father and me? Mother. Zhao Wenhua looked helplessly at Hua Chunhua, not knowing what to say. Mother only thought about how to plunder him the moment she came here. Now even a little bit of old turtle soup was good. She just had to take it back. Seeing that all the soup in the pot had been scooped out, Zhao Wenhua wanted to go forward and snatch it, but Hua Chunhua took a step back and said, "Third son, don't even think about snatching it from me. Why don't we stop drinking it? I'll throw it to the ground now. Otherwise I'll take it back. I won't ask you for those 2 hens anymore." Zhao Wenhua was helpless against Hua Chunhua's shameless behavior. Chapter 1910. At most, they wouldn't eat the old turtle soup today. This thing wasn't valuable, and he could catch more later. It was just a little troublesome, and Zhao Yuner had to deal with it. It was worth it to exchange it for 2 hens. Zhao Wenhua sighed. Mother, Yuner will definitely be unhappy if she finds out. She was the one who made this soup. Aren't you afraid that she will come to you to argue? You brat, what kind of father are you? Don't you know how to persuade her if she has an opinion? Mother. Hua Chunhua didn't have the mood to argue with Zhao Wenhua. She rushed out of the kitchen with the bowl in her hand. Before Zhao Wenhua could chase after her, Hua Chunhua had already run far away. Yuner's father, why don't we just let it go? It's fine if mother takes it back. It's not valuable anyway. It's fine as long as she doesn't ask us for the hens. Zhao Wenhua sighed and responded, yes, that's the only way. When Zhao Yuner came back and heard that Hua Chunhua had taken away the old turtle soup she made, Zhao Yuner was furious. What kind of person was this? What right did he have to take something from her house and bring it back? Although the old turtle soup didn't cost money, he had spent a lot of effort on it. It was a nourishing pot of soup. It would be fine if Hua Chunhua took a few bowls back, but he didn't leave a single drop behind and took it all back. How could there be such a person? Zhao Yuner put down the vegetable basket in her hand, rolled up her sleeves, and decided to settle the score with Hua Chunhua. Zhao Wenhua quickly persuaded. Yuner, why don't we just let it go? Don't argue with your grandmother. It's just a pot of soup. Father can go to the fields and catch a lot more. Zhao Yuner frowned and replied, Father, it doesn't make sense. Even if it's just a bowl of wild vegetables, what right does she have to come to our house to take things? We've already separated from the family. Who does she think she is? Sigh, Yuner girl, you don't usually give us anything. Just take this pot of soup as filial piety to your grandmother and the others. However, Zhao Yuner was not easy to negotiate with. What she cared about was not the things but the attitude of others. What he hated the most in his life was people like Hua Chunhua. Her actions were like that of a bandit. Father, this matter is not negotiable. I want Grandma to give me an explanation. Seeing that Zhao Yuner was determined, Zhao Wenhua had no choice but to let Zhao Yuner go. All right then. Yuner, don't quarrel too much with your grandmother, lest the neighbors see you as a joke. After all, she's your grandmother. Everyone in the village will definitely think that since our family is rich, it's understandable for us to give something to your grandmother. Zhao Yuner responded faintly. She was not afraid of others talking behind her back. In any case, he had been talked about many times. What could he do when the mouths belonged to others? It was fine as long as he had a good time dealing with this weirdo. On the other hand, after Hua Chunhua brought back the old turtle soup from Zhao Yuner's house, she went straight to Zhao Xinhui's house. Hua Chunhua giggled and said, Queer girl, quickly look at what good food Liang brought for you. Zhao Xinhui sniffed and caught a whiff of a fragrance in the air. It was different from what she usually smelled. She was instantly interested and asked, Mother, what did you make for me? It smells so good. It should be very delicious. Hua Chunhua's lips curled into a mysterious smile. Then she brought the bowl in her hand to Zhao Xinhui and explained to Zhao Xinhui, Queer girl, I got this from the third branch. Zhao Yuner personally stewed it. Chapter 1911. Zhao Xinhui replied to Hu Chunhua disdainfully. Mother, isn't it normal that you don't know what it is? You can't even recognize the things that rich people eat and use. I reckon that this Zhao Yin got these good things from somewhere, right? Hu Chunhua hurriedly responded. Yes, that's what mother thinks. It must be that Yin, girl who made it so that mother can't recognize it. But since it's good stuff, it's naturally the best. Hui you should nourish your body well. Zhao Xinhui nodded and said, Zhao Yin that girl's cooking skills are very good. I think it's delicious just by smelling it. Mother, you have to learn how to cook in the future. The things you cook aren't even half as good as hers. You've been cooking for so many years for nothing. Hu Chunhua smiled embarrassedly and said a little awkwardly, Why do you dislike mother's cooking skills? Ever since your daughter-in-law became a stepmother, I've never cooked. Isn't it normal that my cooking skills are a little rusty? But I'm afraid that it'll be a little difficult to learn Yin-er's cooking skills. Zhao Xinhui pursed her lips resentfully. She was about to throw up from eating her mother's cooking these days. Unfortunately, she had no choice. She didn't want to and didn't know how to cook. She couldn't possibly hire a chef to specially cook for her. Now that she finally got to freeload Zhao Yin-er's soup, she couldn't wait to taste it. Hu Chunhua hurriedly picked up the spoon and handed it to Zhao Xinhui. She said to Zhao Xinhui, Here, Hui girl, quickly taste it. You have to drink the soup while it's hot. Otherwise, it won't taste good when it's cold. Zhao Xinhui took the spoon and began drinking from the bowl. A fresh and fragrant taste entered her mouth. It was very delicious. Sure enough, Zhao Yin-er's soup was better than Hu Chunhua's. Unfortunately, she didn't have such a good opportunity to eat Zhao Yin-er's cooking every day. Hu Chunhua watched from the side. When she saw Zhao Xinhui eating happily, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She even asked with a smile, Hui, how does it taste? Zhao Xinhui nodded as she sipped her drink. It tastes good. It's even better than your chicken soup. Hu Chunhua smiled awkwardly and said, Yin knows how to make banquets, so it's normal that she has good culinary skills. Hui, don't just drink the soup. There's still meat. Have a taste of the meat. After Hu Chunhua finished speaking, Zhao Xinhui picked up a few pieces of old turtle meat from the bottom of the bowl. The meat had already been stewed by Zhao Yin, until it was soft and tender. The taste in her mouth was even more praiseworthy. Compared to the soft and tender chicken soup, the old turtle meat was slightly more chewy and tasted very good. After a while, Zhao Xinhui finished all the meat and drank half of the soup. Her stomach was already bloated. Seeing that there wasn't much old turtle soup left in the bowl, Hu Chunhua asked, Hui, aren't you going to drink the rest of the soup? Zhao Xinhui rubbed her round belly and said, Mother, how can I finish such a big bowl of soup in one go? I'm already full. Hu Chunhua smiled. That's true. Then Hui, if you want to drink it, Mother will drink the rest. Zhao Xinhui was very full at this moment. She waved her hand and said, Mother, if you don't mind my saliva, you can drink it. Hu Chunhua smiled and said, What are you talking about, little girl? Mother can dislike anyone, but I won't dislike my own daughter. Besides, it's such a waste if I don't drink such delicious soup. Mother should drink it. Chapter 1912. Even if she couldn't finish the rest of the old turtle soup, couldn't she have saved it for tonight? Why did she have to drink it all at once? However, Zhao Xinhui didn't say this to Hu Chunhua. Since Hu Chunhua wanted to drink it, then let her drink it. Anyway, she had enough for this meal. Hu Chunhua stretched her nose and sniffed the bowl, then muttered, It smells so good. Then Hu Chunhua gulped down the rest of the old turtle soup. Seeing Hu Chunhua drinking the soup, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but frown. She felt that Hu Chunhua was too disgusting. Just drink the soup. Why did she have to make such an expression? It was as if she hadn't drunk it before. She looked so disgusting and sour. Hu Chunhua probably drank too much and drank too quickly. Suddenly, she burped and the turbid air in her stomach sprayed onto Zhao Xinhui's face. Zhao Xinhui was almost disgusted by Hu Chunhua. She complained unhappily to Hu Chunhua. Mother, what are you doing? It stinks, it stinks. Hu Chunhua's expression was extremely unsightly. She tugged at the corner of her mouth and said with a smile, "Huier, why do you dislike your mother? Mother couldn't hold it in and spat it on your face." Zhao Xinhui glared at Hu Chunhua. "Mother, you still have the nerve to say that? Why didn't you spit it somewhere else? Why did you have to spit it on my face? I don't understand." Hu Chunhua explained awkwardly. "Mother didn't expect it to be so smelly. I thought that after drinking the soup, the air I spat out would be the fragrance of the soup." Zhao Xinhui was almost disgusted by Hu Chunhua. Why didn't her mother have any self-awareness? She would only be happy if someone exposed her. "Mother, how many times has it been? Don't you know that your mouth stinks?" Zhao Xinhui complained angrily. Hu Chunhua hurriedly coaxed, All right. Huier, don't be angry. It's mother's fault this time. Next time I'll definitely bear with it. I'll definitely not spit on your face." Zhao Xinhui snorted and ignored Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua felt even more embarrassed. Finally she said, "Hui, or you should rest well in your room. Mother will go out and wash the bowl. Later, I will return it to your third brother and third sister-in-law." After all, she didn't just get it from Zhao Yiner's house. It was enough to drink the soup. She didn't care for a bowl. Just as he was about to go out, he heard Zhao Yiner's voice outside. Zhao Yiner's face darkened. When she arrived at old Zhao's courtyard, she yelled at Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua's heart thumped. She thought, it's over. Zhao Yiner definitely wouldn't have a good time if she came looking for her. She didn't know how Zhao Yiner would make a fuss with him later. Zhao Xinhui also frowned. "Mother, why is this Yiner lass here to make a fuss again? It can't be because of the soup you just brought back, right?" Hu Chunhua said somewhat guiltily, "It can't be. You third brother and third sister-in-law were all there at that time. Those two dead men actually didn't stop Yiner lass. Mother, you still have the nerve to say that. You must have taken advantage of Zhao Yiner's absence to make the soup. Great, now she's come looking for us again. Aya Huier lass, didn't mother bring the soup back for you? If it wasn't to nourish your body, who would go to the first branch to get something to eat?" Chapter 1913. Zhao Xinhui abruptly shirked all of her responsibilities, which made Hu Chunhua feel a little disappointed. Towards this daughter of hers, she had treated her well wholeheartedly, but Zhao Xinhui's attitude was indifferent. She pushed her out at the most critical moment. How could she care about their friendship at all? Her sadness was only temporary. Hu Chunhua still treated Zhao Xinhui wholeheartedly. After all, she only had one daughter. If she didn't treat Zhao Xinhui well, who else could she treat well? "Mother, I'll go out for a while," Hu Chunhua said and went out of the room. As soon as she went out, she saw Zhao Yiner's angry face. "Where's my soup?" Zhao Yiner directly asked. Hu Chunhua also said with a cold face, "It's already finished." With that, Hu Chunhua took out the bowl and waved it in front of Zhao Yiner. Looking at the bowl without a drop of soup left, Zhao Yiner suddenly became angry. This Hu Chunhua was really interesting. She really drank all of it. She only brought it back for a short while and finished it. She was really interesting. It doesn't matter if you finished it. You can't drink it for free. Give me the money. How could Zhao Yiner let Hu Chunhua go so easily? Since she couldn't get the thing, she might as well ask for the money early. Anyway, she couldn't let this damned old woman take advantage of her. Otherwise, she would think that he was easy to bully. Next time, she would treat him as a robber. When Hu Chunhua heard Zhao Yiner say that she wanted money, she immediately became angry. "You damned girl. What are you talking about? Didn't I just drink some soup? You still want money? I raised your father. Can't you give me something to show filial piety?" Zhao Yiner coldly said, "I don't want to say it again. If you don't take out 100 copper coins, I'll go to the government and sue you. What's the difference between you and a thief if you take someone's things without their permission?" When Hu Chunhua heard that Zhao Yiner wanted 100 copper coins, her face immediately sank. If he said that she was a thief, then what was the difference between Zhao Yiner and a blackmailer? How could that bowl of soup be worth 100 copper coins? If it were up to her, it would at most be 30 or 40 copper coins, the price of a chicken. Zhao Yuner, on the other hand, suddenly dropped by 100. Asking for it from her was equivalent to fighting with her. Damned girl, where would I get 100 copper coins to give you? Don't even think about it. Hua Chunhua said angrily. Her tough attitude told Zhao Yuner that she would never take out the 100 yuan. Zhao Yuner sneered. Grandmother, there's no point in saying it a third time. You really refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Then don't blame me for being impolite. As Zhao Yuner said, she pinched her 2 fingers together, making a crisp sound. Seeing that Zhao Yuner's fist was about to hit her, Hua Chuanhua's eyes showed a touch of panic. You damned girl. Are you going to hit your elders? My God, I raised such a daughter in vain. I'm too lazy to talk to you. Zhao Yuner rolled her eyes at Hua Chunhua. Before the fist hit Hua Chuanhua's body, a miserable cry came from Zhao Xinhui's room. Mother, mother. Zhao Xinhui cried out in alarm, as if something big had happened. Hua Chunhua hurriedly turned her head and shouted back to Zhao Xinhui. What's wrong, Huier girl, what's wrong? Mother, my stomach hurts. It hurts so much. Zhao Xinhui's voice sounded even more miserable. What's wrong, Huier? Why does your stomach suddenly hurt? Hua Chuanhua's face was full of confusion. Chapter 1914. Zhao Xinhui continued to cry out in pain. It hurts, mother, it hurts so much. When Hua Chunhua came closer to take a look, she realized that something was amiss. There was a faint smell of blood in the air. Where did this smell come from? Hua Chunhua frowned and stretched her nose to sniff. She realized that the smell was coming from Zhao Xinhui's body. Could it be that her was injured? But that didn't seem right either. Why was injured when she was perfectly fine? She was sitting perfectly fine in the room. It wasn't as if she had fallen and hurt herself. Could it be that her previous wound had ruptured? Was she bleeding? Hua Chunhua hurriedly lifted Zhao Xinhui's clothes to check where Zhao Xinhui was injured. It didn't matter if she didn't look, but when she did, Hua Chunhua was shocked, because Zhao Xinhui's lower body was bleeding a lot. It looked like a sign of a miscarriage. Hua Chunhua panicked. Why was this happening all of a sudden? Even if she had a miscarriage, it would have happened when she was beaten up. Why was she suddenly having a miscarriage? What exactly is going on? Hua Chuanhua's lips trembled as she muttered. Because of the blood. Hua Chuanhua's face turned pale for a moment. Mother, what's wrong? Zhao Xinhui gritted her teeth and asked while enduring the pain. Lass, were you injured just now? Did you fall off the bed? Hua Chunhua asked. No. Mother, the bed is so big. How could I fall off? Zhao Xinhui replied unhappily. Then what's going on? Hua Chunhua muttered. The more she looked, the more she felt that something was amiss. Zhao Xinhui felt that Hua Chuanhua's words were strange. She didn't know what she was talking about, so she lowered her head and looked down. It was fine if she didn't look, but when she did, she was shocked. The bottom of his pants were stained with blood. It was a ghastly sight. Zhao Xinhui was curious about what had happened to him. Why was there so much blood flowing down there? Mother, my stomach hurts even more. Zhao Xinhui said with a bitter face. He was so scared that he almost cried. Hua Chunhua mumbled. It's over, it's over. She's probably going to have a miscarriage. She won't be able to keep the baby. Mother, if we can't keep the child, we really won't be able to return to the Huang estate in the future. Zhao Xinhui said with a sad face. How could Hua Chunhua not know? Keeping the child would at least give him something to remember. In the future, if he could acknowledge his ancestors, Zhao Xinhui would have a chance to return to the Huang estate. The pitiful child was gone. How could a heartless man think about Zhao Xinhui again? For a moment, Hua Chuanhua's heart turned cold. What she cared about was not only the rest of her daughter's life, but more importantly, the money that she could take in her own hands. If Zhao Xinhui didn't return to the Huang estate, they could only spend and not have any income. Who knew if something big would happen in the future, and they would run out of money? Zhao Xinhui urged Hua Chunhua in dissatisfaction. Mother, why are you still in a daze? Aren't you going to find a doctor for me? Hua Chunhua quickly responded. Okay. Mother will go find a doctor to take a look at you. Don't be afraid. With Mother here, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Hua Chunhua said and ran out of the room. She wanted to quickly call Dr. Sun over. Chapter 1915. Hua Chunhua thought that her pair of short legs would definitely not be able to outrun Zhao Wentao. So it was better to let Zhao Wentao run over and call Dr. Sun over. He would definitely be faster than her. So Hua Chunhua ran in front of Zhao Wentao, grabbed Zhao Wentao's collar, and said to Zhao Wentao, "Fourth brother, hurry up and go to Dr. Sun's house and call Dr. Sun over." Zhao Wentao frowned and asked, "Mother, what's the matter? What happened again? Why do I have to call Dr. Sun over?" Hua Chunhua replied with a worried face, "It's your little sister. Your little sister seems to be having a miscarriage. She's bleeding down there now. I have to call Dr. Sun over quickly. Otherwise, I'm afraid that she won't be able to keep the child in her belly." After listening to Hua Chunhua's words, a touch of worry suddenly appeared on Zhao Wentao's face. However, he calmed down and comforted Hua Chunhua. "Mother, don't worry. I'll go and call Dr. Sun over. Go quickly. Don't waste a moment." Hua Chunhua urged. "Okay, Mother." Zhao Wentao immediately turned around and rushed out of the courtyard, while Hua Chunhua continued to stomp her feet anxiously. Hua Chunhua clasped her hands together and murmured to the sky, "May the heavens protect us. Please don't let anything happen to our Hui. You must bless our Hui, to be safe and sound. It's best that nothing happens to the baby in her belly." Zhao Yun, who was standing at the side, was very curious. Zhao Xinhui actually had a miscarriage. It was simply unexpected. After thinking about it, Zhao Yun suddenly widened her eyes and realized something. Although old turtle soup was a nourishing thing, it was only for normal people. It was indeed not suitable for some groups of people. It was not suitable for people with indigestion or pregnant women with weak spleen and stomach. If a pregnant woman ate it, it could cause a miscarriage. It just so happened that Zhao Xinhui was pregnant this time. Hua Chunhua must have brought back the old turtle soup and fed it to Zhao Xinhui. That was why Zhao Xinhui lost a lot of blood and had to have a miscarriage. Thinking of this, Zhao Yun'er trembled with fear. He had been too careless. Fortunately, it was Hua Chunhua who took away the old turtle soup, and not a single drop was left. Otherwise, she would definitely let Liang Jinxiao drink it. Once Liang Jinxiao drank it, would she have a miscarriage like Zhao Xinhui? Perhaps the heavens had purposely arranged for Hua Chunhua to go over and help his mother avoid a calamity. Originally, Zhao Yun'er was still distressed about the bowl of old turtle soup. Now, he only felt that he had thrown a hot potato to someone else. Otherwise, the consequences of drinking the old turtle soup would be unimaginable. Since that was the case, he would no longer pursue Hua Chunhua on this matter. After hearing Hua Chunhua's cries, the rest of old Zhao's family ran out of the house and asked about the situation. Feng Zhangxia comforted, "Mother, don't worry too much. Little sister will definitely be blessed by the heavens. Nothing will happen to her." Hua Chunhua did not think that anything would happen, but it was obviously impossible. She was anxious and kept muttering in her heart, "It's over." Qian Zhonghu could not help but sigh and said with some sympathy, "Little sister has been so pitiful recently. So many things happen one after another, and now she might have a miscarriage. I don't know what to do." Chapter 1916. After listening to Li Chuiying's words, Qian Zhurong felt that it was very reasonable. "Okay, second sister-in-law, let's buy some things and go to the temple to pray to the Bodhisattva. I hope that our family won't get into trouble in the future." Yes. Hua Chunhua wasn't in the mood to listen to her sisters-in-law. Instead, she was looking forward to Dr. Sun coming over to see how Zhao Xinhui was doing. After a while, she saw that Dr. Sun was late. Dr. Sun's expression was also very heavy. He felt strange. Why did old Zhao's family call him over so frequently? When she caught a glimpse of Dr. Sun, Hua Chunhua rushed to Dr. Sun, grabbed his sleeve, and dragged him into the room. Dr. Sun, please help me take a look at my daughter. Dr. Sun pulled his sleeve and said indifferently, why are you in such a hurry? If something happens, it's not something that can be solved in a short time. Can't you calm down? Dr. Sun, I'm worried because something big happened to my daughter. I don't see you being so worried about your son. Dr. Sun scolded. Dr. Sun, I only have one daughter and several sons. It's nothing to be worried about. Dr. Sun stopped talking. Anyway, it was the first time he saw someone who cared about their daughter, but not their son. It was understandable that they only had one daughter. When they arrived at the room, they found Zhao Xinhui lying on the bed. He was holding his belly and his face looked even paler. Hua Chunhua felt distressed when she saw him. Dr. Sun calmly walked to Zhao Xinhui and took Zhao Xinhui's pulse. After taking his pulse, Dr. Sun's expression became very solemn. Then he sighed faintly. When she saw Dr. Sun like this, she knew that something bad must have happened. She asked nervously, Dr. Sun, how is my daughter? Is she okay? Okay. How can she be okay? Can't you see that she's bleeding so much? I see it, but Dr. Sun, how is my daughter Hui? Dr. Sun glanced at Zhao Xinhui and said in a deep voice, Sir, get some medicine and recuperate for a while. She should be fine. However, I can't keep the child in my belly. That can't be right? Hua Chunhua suddenly became anxious. She was even more worried because she couldn't keep the baby. Is there no other way to save the child? Dr. Sun, this is my family's Hui's first child. It's very important. You have to help her think of a way. Dr. Sun said faintly. If I can think of a way, how can I not save him? Auntie Zhao, I know you're anxious, but you can't be so anxious that you don't care about anything, right? Hua Chunhua had a bitter expression on her face. Didn't Dr. Sun mean that there was really no hope for her Hui? Thus he shouted at the top of his lungs. Hui, your life is really bitter. Dr. Sun got up and said to Hua Chunhua. Okay, don't cry. Let her rest well. Don't delay the patient's rest. I'll prescribe some medicine for you to nurse her back to health. Today's medicine costs 750 copper coins in total. Pay it now. On one hand, Hua Chunhua felt sorry for Zhao Xinhui. On the other hand, she also felt sorry for spending so much money. Chapter 1917. Once you get the medicine, quickly boil it and eat it. Your daughter's injury can't be delayed, Dr. Sun instructed. Okay. Hua Chunhua hurriedly responded. Before Dr. Sun left, Hua Chunhua asked, Dr. Sun, you haven't told me why my little girl Hui suddenly became like this? She didn't bump into anything, didn't she? Why did she suddenly have a miscarriage? Speaking of this, Dr. Sun was silent for a moment before he finally said, I'm not particularly sure, but in my opinion, she must have eaten something that she shouldn't have eaten, which caused the miscarriage. Hua Chunhua's brows knitted together again, and her expression was very solemn. Something that she shouldn't have eaten? Dr. Sun nodded. Sometimes, eating something that she shouldn't have eaten can easily lead to a miscarriage. It's not suitable for pregnant women. Hua Chunhua thought about what Zhao Xinhui had eaten today. He had porridge and eggs in the morning, and he usually ate them, so there shouldn't be any problems. If there was a problem, then it could only be the old turtle soup that was given to Zhao Xinhui later. Otherwise, she really couldn't think of what Zhao Xinhui had eaten. Then it must be that bowl of soup. Hua Chunhua's lips trembled as she muttered, Mother, it's all your fault. Zhao Xinhui clutched his stomach and looked at Hua Chunhua hatefully. I was fine, but you insisted on making me a bowl of soup to drink. Now are you satisfied? My good child is gone because of you. Hua Chunhua had an innocent expression on her face as she hurriedly waved her hand and explained. Mother didn't know that there was something wrong with the soup. It can't be given to pregnant women, otherwise, Mother would never have made it for you. Zhao Xinhui's chest was stuffed with anger. Mother, what's the use of saying this now? The child is gone, so there's no point in talking about this anymore. Hua Chunhua sighed heavily. She was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would get angry and hurt her body, so she hurriedly comforted Zhao Xinhui. All right, Zhao Xinhui, rest well. Your body needs to recuperate. Mother is going to find Yuner to settle accounts. It's all because of her soup. Zhao Xinhui's body was indeed very weak right now. He didn't have the time to argue with Hua Chunhua. Lying on the bed, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, but he had no choice but to endure it. Hua Chunhua rushed out of the courtyard angrily and pushed all the blame to Zhao Yuner. Initially, she felt a little guilty about Zhao Xinhui's miscarriage. She didn't feel guilty about Zhao Xinhui and Hua Chunhua. She only felt guilty about the unborn child in Zhao Xinhui's belly. After all, it was a life. An adult's actions shouldn't fall on the child's head. She should cherish the child's life. Hua Chunhua rushed out and pointed at Zhao Yuner's nose, scolding. You wretched girl, did you deliberately call your aunt? Why did you cook such a pot of soup? It's clearly inedible. If a pregnant woman eats it, it's easy for her to miscarry, but you still made it. Today your aunt's child is gone, and it's all because of your soup. So you have to give my wife an explanation. Zhao Yuner saw that Hua Chunhua was like a crazy woman, and a cold look flashed in her eyes. Did this wretched old woman really think that she was easy to bully? Grandmother, how do you want me to be responsible? Zhao Yuner's words implied that this matter had nothing to do with her. However, Hua Chunhua heard it as Zhao Yuner's request for compensation. Chapter 1918. In the Great Zhou country, human trafficking was considered quite frequent. Normal poor families would sell their children and women. These people were basically sold to large families as slaves or maids. There were also some women who were sold to poor families as wives. Depending on the situation, a person's life did indeed cost 30 silver coins. In terms of the amount of money, Hua Chunhua didn't extort her, but Zhao Yuner still felt it was strange. This Hua Chunhua really blamed the miscarried child on her head, and now she wanted her to pay for it. Hua Chunhua felt that other than paying for it, she had no other way to settle this debt with Zhao Yuner. If the child was miscarried, then so be it. She couldn't make the child appear again. So what if she beat up Zhao Yuner and took care of her? Didn't she not get any benefits at all? It was better to directly ask Zhao Yuner for 30 silver coins. With the money, she could buy more delicious food for Zhao Xinhui to nourish her body. Zhao Yuner gave a soft snort and said, Grandmother, your shamelessness is quite strong. If you didn't mention this soup, I wouldn't have settled this debt with you. You acted on your own initiative and stole the soup from me. After giving it to little aunt, you put the blame on me. If you want to talk about responsibility, it should be on your head. I don't care, Zhao Yuner, you have to take responsibility for this matter today. How could the child in your little aunt's stomach be miscarried for nothing? Hua Chunhua's attitude was very firm. It was a pity that this old woman was too simple. Did she think that this would make things difficult for her, and she would compromise? Zhao Yuner coldly mocked. Grandmother, to say something unpleasant, a person needs face and a tree needs its bark. Don't think about throwing away your shamelessness every day. I won't take responsibility for this matter, and you should pay me back instead. Based on what can you take away my family's soup? You damned girl, you're still so stubborn. Hua Chunhua was so angry that she gritted her teeth. She wanted to go forward and give Zhao Yuner a few slaps, but she was no match for Zhao Yuner. Qian Zhozha and Li Chuiying watched from the side and finally understood what was going on. It turned out that Hua Chunhua stole the turtle soup from Zhao Yuner and gave it to Zhao Xinhui. Unfortunately, the soup was not suitable for pregnant women, so Zhao Xinhui became like this after drinking it. Therefore, this matter was still Hua Chunhua's fault. How could she settle the score with the person who stole something from her? This was not justifiable at all. Thus, Qian Zhozha persuaded Hua Chunhua. Mother, this matter really isn't Yuner's fault. Why don't we stop arguing and let it go? After hearing Qian Zhozha's words, Hua Chunhua glared at Qian Zhozha. What kind of black-hearted person are you? Helping a damned girl. If it's not her fault, then do you mean it's my fault? Qian Zhozha was a little helpless. She was just speaking the truth, but Hua Chunhua still scolded her like this. How could there be such a person? Mother, I think fourth sister-in-law is right. This matter really isn't Yunner's fault. No one knew that this would happen. It was an accident that the child in my younger sister's stomach was gone. No one wanted to see that. Li Chuiying glanced at Qian Zhozha sympathetically, then continued to help. Qian Zhozha hurriedly responded, Yes, 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 mother. This matter was an accident. How could Hu Chunhua not know? She was just unwilling to let Zhao Yunner off so easily. Chapter 1919. Zhao Yunner sneered. Grandma, shouldn't you be the one having nightmares? Why would I have nightmares? Did I force you to steal this soup for my aunt to drink? Don't you know who's responsible for the miscarriage? It's you. Grandma, this child is too innocent. If you ask me, I'm guessing that she'll be haunting you in the future. After hearing Zhao Yunner's words, Hu Chunhua was indeed frightened by Zhao Yunner. This wretched girl was actually scaring her. Hu Chunhua's body trembled violently at the thought of a vengeful soul coming for her life. In her heart, she secretly prayed for Bodhisattva's protection. Don't let Zhao Yunner's crow's mouth come true. Although she was old, she was still afraid of death. At the same time, she also prayed silently to Zhao Xinhui's miscarriage that she didn't do it on purpose, so please don't make trouble for her. The quarrel in old Zhao's courtyard attracted the attention of the surrounding neighbors. Many people came forward to see what interesting things were happening in old Zhao's house. Normally, there was nothing to pass the time. Whenever there was a commotion, the villagers would try their best to get involved, just like watching TV in the 21st century. Auntie Zhao's face is black with anger. What's going on? Auntie Wang gossiped. Auntie Zhang's courtyard was close to old Zhao's, so she could vaguely hear some of the conversation while standing in her own courtyard. It seems that Auntie Zhao's youngest daughter had a miscarriage and drank the soup cooked by Yunner. That's a serious matter. Although the child hasn't been born yet, it's still half a life, right? It's normal for Auntie Zhao's eyes to turn red with anger when this happened. Since it was Yunner who cooked the soup, then he should take some responsibility and compensate for it. Auntie Zhang added. But I just heard that Auntie Zhao went to steal Yunner's soup. She didn't expect this to happen after drinking it. When Auntie Zhang said this, the onlooking neighbors hurriedly said, If that's the case, you can't blame Yunner, who told her to steal it herself. Stealing is a mistake. How can you have the face to ask someone to take responsibility for it? Isn't that so? She was fine and didn't ask you to steal. You stole it yourself. Even if you drank yourself to death, you wouldn't be able to find her. This Auntie Zhao's character is too bad. Putting aside the fact that she has done such things, she's even acting like this now? Yunner is so pitiful. Because you're used to being unreasonable. How can we reason with him now? That's why I said Yunner is pitiful. I'm on Yunner's side in this matter. I'm also on Yunner's side. Disasters can be forgiven, but disasters brought on by oneself are the hardest to bear. She caused the death of her daughter's unborn child. Why should she blame others? That's right. The villagers chattered. After figuring out the cause and effect of the matter, they all began to blame Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua stood in the yard, feeling a little embarrassed. The villagers were really nosy. What did old Zhao's matter have to do with others? What right did they have to criticize? You gossipy old women, get out of here. Don't crowd around my door. Hu Chunhua was so angry that she took a broom to chase them away. Chapter 1920. I have the final say on my family's land. Scram, scram, scram. Hu Chunhua continued to urge them impatiently. This caused the surrounding villagers to feel disgusted again. Auntie Zhao, you can't be unreasonable. Even if you're flustered and exasperated, you can't vent your anger on us, right? We're all from the same village, so it's normal for us to visit each other. If you don't let us stand at your house today, don't come to our house in the future. The other villagers echoed, That's right. At most, we won't come to your house in the future. Don't loiter in front of our house in the future. Otherwise, we'll definitely chase you out. Hu Chunhua was also someone who liked to join in the fun. She liked to follow other people when something happened. If she couldn't go to other people's houses in the future, she would be bored to death by being cooped up in her own courtyard all day. After thinking about this, she resentfully put away the broom in her hand and stopped chasing people away. Not long after, Zhao Baoshan also returned. When Zhao Baoshan saw so many people gathered in the courtyard, he knew that something must have happened at home. The moment he returned, he asked with a sullen expression, "Old woman, what's going on? Why are there so many people here?" Hu Chunhua snorted softly. How could she have the nerve to bring it up when the villagers were berating her like this? Zhao Yun'er glanced at Zhao Baoshan indifferently. She knew that in old Zhao's house, Zhao Baoshan was much more tactful and reasonable than Hu Chunhua. Thus, she told Zhao Baoshan everything that had happened. When Zhao Baoshan heard that Zhao Xinhui had lost her child, his expression turned ugly. Although he didn't like Zhao Xinhui very much, she was his only daughter after all. He doted on her very much when she was young. Zhao Xinhui was already pitiful enough after being abandoned by young Master Huang. Now that she even lost her child, she really suffered a lot during this period. Seeing Zhao Baoshan's dark face, Hu Chunhua was a little worried. She was afraid that Zhao Baoshan would put the blame on her. "Old man," Hu Chunhua called out weakly with a guilty conscience. Zhao Baoshan glared fiercely at Hu Chunhua and scolded, "You're so silly. Look at what you've done at your age. You still have the nerve to say that second brother is doing such sneaky things? Aren't you the same? If the upper beam is crooked, the lower beam will be crooked. She didn't do a good job, yet she liked to criticize others? I was wondering who my second son resembled. It turns out that he learned your skills." Zhao Wenshui was also watching from the side. When he heard his father's words, he nodded and praised him at first, but after hearing what his father said, he felt that something was wrong. Was his father criticizing his mother, or was his father criticizing him as well? Hu Chunhua was even more at a loss after being scolded by Zhao Baoshan. She muttered weakly, "Old man, isn't this for our Hui? She needs to nourish her body well." Coincidentally, she went to third brother's house and stewed some soup. What's wrong with me bringing it back for Hui? Or to nourish her body? Who knew that something like this would happen? If you ask me, it's third brother's fault. Clearly, there was something wrong with the soup, but he didn't remind me and let me give it to Hui. Zhao Baoshan almost spat fire from his nose. Look at this. You still have the nerve to say such things at this time. You don't know how to repent. Your skin is getting thicker and thicker. Not only did you steal, you even want to push the blame to the third branch. Chapter 1921. Old man, Hu Chunhua was a little ashamed of being lectured by Zhao Baoshan. She didn't admit her mistake in her heart, but it wasn't good to scold her in front of so many people, right? Zhao Baoshan glanced coldly at Hu Chunhua. If you have the time to argue with Yin'er, why don't you go and check on Hui'er's situation? You're always distracted. Qian Zhonghuai also hurriedly pulled Hu Chunhua and said, "Mother, you should go and check on little sister quickly. Don't continue to argue. Little sister is the most important. By the way, Dr. Sun's medicine also needs to be boiled quickly for little sister to drink." Speaking of this, Hu Chunhua's expression changed. At this time, she really should pay more attention to Zhao Xinhui. Then I won't argue with Yin'er. I'm going to check on Hui. Hu Chunhua muttered. Zhao Yin'er felt very strange. Although Zhao Baoshan was more reasonable and helped her reprimand Hu Chunhua's attitude made her unhappy. How could it be so easy to leave as she wished? "Grandmother, you're in the wrong today. No matter what, you have to apologize to me, right? Isn't it a little inappropriate to just leave like this?" Hu Chunhua furrowed her brows and replied angrily, "What are you talking about, girl? I've already left and you're still arguing with me. I'm your grandmother. How can you treat your elders like this? How can an elder apologize to a younger generation? Don't push your luck." "I'm pushing my luck? Don't I need to apologize for doing something wrong?" Zhao Yin'er asked coldly. The surrounding villagers couldn't stand it and criticized Hu Chunhua. "Aunt Zhao is really interesting. What's wrong with apologizing to Yuner when you're not in the right? She's so angry. Yuner is so pitiful. She has such an elder. She's taking advantage of her seniority. Who does she think she is? Not only did Hu Chunhua feel embarrassed, but Zhao Baoshan also felt embarrassed. Zhao Baoshan urged Hu Chunhua, "Old woman, it's your fault. Apologize to Yuner now." Hu Chunhua reluctantly apologized to Zhao Yuner. Okay. Yuner, it's my fault. I'll apologize to you and apologize, okay? After saving her face, Zhao Yuner glanced at Hu Chunhua with her sharp eyes and said, "Since you know you're in the wrong, then let's forget about it. But I hope you'll watch your mouth in the future. Don't slander others and falsely accuse a good person." Hu Chunhua gritted her teeth and agreed. This wretched girl. She would definitely settle the score with her later. She was so angry. After Hu Chunhua went into the house, Zhao Baoshan walked to Zhao Yuner and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, it's your grandmother's fault. Don't argue with her. We're a family. She's just too anxious when something so serious happened to your aunt." Zhao Yuner replied indifferently, "Grandmother, you don't have to tell me. If there's nothing else, I'll go back first." Seeing Zhao Yuner's departing figure, Zhao Baoshan's face was full of helplessness. At this time he was most worried about Zhao Xinhui's situation. He and Hu Chunhua were worried about different things. Hu Chunhua was worried about Zhao Xinhui's health, while Zhao Baoshan was worried about Zhao Xinhui's future. You're tuning into the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.